We are here. What is good, people? EA disappeared on me, so I guess I'll do this intro solo. What is good? Hope everybody's holidays were good. Oh, EA? Hello.
I am here,
Thank
and
you for
I
joining.
got me a lovely new mic for Christmas with a pop screen, so the pops don't be popping.
Can y'all hear the difference?
Yeah.
It's immaculate. It's a whole different person. Not even know it was EA. I thought it was EA's AI cousin that we were planning to replace him with. It sounds good though. Sounds good.
Yes, I still don't know if I can do the Filolio scream.
I mean, do you want to give it a try? Don't mean to put you on the spot.
That was terrible sounding. Hold on.
Let's see.
I don't even know if I could do it right now, but let's try it. Nope, didn't work.
Oh man, damn.
I did the damn sound and it didn't work. But
Tragic.
Hello everybody, aka Decrepit Storm and QRW6. Thank you for waiting in on us. It's just us two today. C Tactics is down with the sickness, so yeah. So we'll be doing this thing as a duo today instead of a trio.
Yep. The show must go on. Thought about delaying the podcast to another date, but seeing as how that's going to make us cover, we would have to cover what at that point, like 12 plus shows, I think 12 plus episodes. Yeah. So I figured it was just better to just do it with me and EA, and then we will be able to do another podcast literally next year and kind of start fresh. Start fresh then.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I don't know if we're gonna be doing the award show next week. Like we'll probably be doing half some shows we're still covering, and then half award show, and then the week after that, so 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Winter 2024 season, everybody. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's gonna be 2024. It's insane.
Yeah, another year, man. So EA showed off his pop filter, new mic, new cam too. For me being the weeb I am, this is what I got as my Christmas haul. So I have one Goku, non-canon version Goku, Super Saiyan 4, but still the best, one of the best versions of Goku you'll ever see.
Oh, I agree.
I will say my brother does know me pretty well. Not only do I just love Super Saiyan 4, but if he would have got me like a Dragon Ball Super version of Goku, I might be mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cause I don't like Dragon Ball Super, and if I would have saw Goku with blue hair, I would have been on the news for not good reasons.
Maybe Ultra Instinct before he got the silver. Like the one where he just has the black and he's just got the blue outline. That I would like.
Yeah. But that was one of them. This one is the one I absolutely love because it adds to my collection. One where I already have Satsuki, Junko, and now Olo, the Wise Wolf, holding weed in their hands. And it's not a weird one. It's not a weird one because there are a lot of weird figurines of this character out, ones that are not appropriate for viewer eyes, but that one is tasteful, put together well, stands well, happy with it, satisfied with it. So yeah, so that was a good Christmas for me. I also got another Miami Heat jersey. I'm not going to reach all the way back there to get it, but yeah, some fun things that I got for Christmas. So I hope everybody's Christmas was well, even if you don't celebrate it, just, time off too. That's always good. I had a 3-day weekend, so I got some rest. But we're back with KOA. So the first thing to get into is talking about some of the news that's going around in our absence. So let's start with that. All right. So the first thing up that we have that I felt compelled to talk about is Fire Hunter is having a season 2 in January.
Oh joy. I am so happy that this season. Why is this season getting a season 2?
I don't know.
The first season was terrible.
It always amazes me what gets a season 2. There's some shows out there that you just look at, and with this popularity, with just the quality of it, even you would expect the season 2 announced almost instantaneously. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
But then there's shows like Fire Hunter that get season 2. You know, it's a weird cycle. I never understand what warrants a show getting another season. Because sometimes I think in my mind, it's how successful the show is. But is Fire Hunter really that successful? Maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't know.
I know we killed it off really soon, so I mean, I don't know honestly if it was better or not, but yeah, this series is getting a season 2. The 100 Girlfriends that really like you is getting a season 2.
People really like that anime, by the way.
They really do. People are losing their mind over it. I've never watched a single second of it. All I know is that there's these women, they are all obsessed over this dude, and then there was a scene that C would have absolutely loved where a MILF was like all over the main character too, and I'm like, oh no, that is wrong.
What?
Going for the high schooler.
Apparently the MILF was like the mother of one of his girlfriends.
That's okay, yeah, that's right. So then now it's the girl and the mother, so they both love the main character. I'm like, oh, this is straight up just fantasy MC stuff.
I've heard that people kind of like it because it's self-aware. I know nothing about the series. I wasn't going to check it out based on the premise alone. It's just not really my thing. Harems especially, I don't really like. Not that I haven't read any, but usually I try to actively avoid it. The only one I like, well, I'll say, okay, 2. Quintessential Quintuplets, and then Mato Seihei no Slave. Other than that, I don't really like the genre.
For me, Sekirei. I love Sekirei. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. Think of Pokemon, but with women instead of creatures that fight for you and stuff. And yeah, quintessential quintuplets is another good one for me that you, Sir Satsuki, turned me on to. So, yeah, Sean, I agree. No game, no life fans. After hearing this news, it's going on over a decade now, and we still don't. Is it close to it? It's either has been a decade or close to it, but still no season 2. And I'm with you. I'm a fan of that show, and I'm upset that there isn't a season 2. God, it's been way too long.
Yeah. That one's a weird case, but like I said, you kind of never know with a lot of these anime. So yeah. In other news, what we have, talking about another season. This is something that is warranted. Konosuba season 3. The trailer came out for it. I have not watched it myself. Usually with things that I really like, I don't try to check out the trailer. I like to be completely surprised. But did you see the trailer, EA?
No, I feel the same way. If it's a show that I've never seen before but might be slightly interested in watching, I'll take a glance at the trailer. If it's a season 3 of something that I already like Konosuba, there's no point in watching the trailer. I'm going to watch this. You know what I mean? I'm with you. I want to go in surprised. I don't want to see something that's going to be hilarious and then already expect it whenever it happens. So, yeah, I'm so happy for this. I knew it was coming out next year, but now they're saying it's coming out spring of 2024. So I'm so happy for that. That might be on the KOA.
I'd be surprised if it isn't. It's a show that we all enjoy. So yeah, be sure to be on the lookout for that. I mean, if we watch the Megami spinoff, we definitely have to watch Konosuba.
Yeah, we gotta wait for the Darkness and Aqua spinoff.
Oh my
We gotta
god.
watch those.
Well, I feel like Darkness can have a spinoff just because she is a semi-mature character. Like she has things outside of being an idiot. Aqua, I feel like can't have a sequel because she's too one-dimensional in a sense. Like she has a lot of lore to her character actually, but I mean like personality-wise, because even Megami kind of surprised me with the spinoff because I didn't expect her to show that side of her personality because usually she's always like gimmicky and shown like to be useless after that one shot. But Darkness, I think outside of the masochist thing, she's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Aqua the whole time would literally just be eating chips and calling people assholes the whole time. It wouldn't be very much of a spin-off series.
Yeah, I'm not useless, you're useless. That's gonna be like the premise for all of the episodes.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, another loser weeb that just got reincarnated. Yeah, you died. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Yeah. Well, in other news, Spy X Family, Cold White, the new movie, opens in Japan. Opens number one in Japan, selling 1.2 billion in the first 3 days. Yeah, very well done. Good news to hear for Spy Family fans. Don't know when that's going to be translated, when we're going to get subs for that so that we can watch it and enjoy it. But it seems like it's smash hit, and considering I think it's all original stuff, I don't think it's going to do any canon material. I like those type of movies where it's non-canon. We already talked about this, but I like that we get a whole different story with this movie, because not only does it give everybody new excitement for it, so it like nobody can spoil the movie for you, or in a sense that, you know, people who haven't like there's nobody who read it, you know, it's a whole different experience for everybody who goes to the theaters and you know, hits streaming sites. I just like that it's some anime original stuff. You can't really predict anything. You get maybe a different side of characters and whatnot. I mean, it's cool that we have some canon movies, but I honestly think Demon Slayer kind of poisoned everybody's mind into thinking like we have to make this connected to the canon of the story. We have to have this be a part of the linear story that we're trying to tell. When I think it's something special about movies that are just the plot is contained within the vacuum of the movie itself.
Yeah, very true. I mean, JJK did the Zero movie, but you could say that's kind of contained. I mean, maybe not, because there are certain things and characters that if you were watching JJK, you'd be like, "Who's Yuta? Who are these girls? These twin girls?" But it doesn't even matter because they died anyway. But that's something entirely different. But yeah, I think this is gonna be fun, and Spy Family is just fun in general anyway. So
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of wish they would have worked with releasing it at the same time worldwide, or at least in America too, because the new Godzilla movie, they did that. It was just going to be international for a week, but because the movie did so well in America, they were like, well, let's extend it another week and another week. So it's actually been streaming, well, not streaming, it's been showing here in America for I think over a month now, or almost a month, and it made like $60-70 million, which they didn't even think it would make its money back. Their budget was 15 mil and they more than quadrupled it.
Yeah,
so it's like
same.
Imagine if they released it. They got 1.2 billion, which I know that's yen, so like what does that translate into, like American dollars? Imagine what they could have done if they, release it on Christmas. I know people that watch movies on Christmas Day. That could be an option, and then people would have gone and watched it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they could have planned it maybe a little better, but it's their movie. They could do what they want with it. I just feel like it could have made a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it whenever it's available. And I say that as a person who isn't really even into movies like that, but Spy Family is a series where it's reliant on its characters. Like everybody loves Yor, Lloyd, Anya. So with having a movie that deviates from the canon of the story, and you have a whole different experience, it makes me a more treat to see the movie because I want to see. I want to see what happens with Yor. I want to see what happens with Lloyd. I want to see what happens with Anya. I think the genre of it being slice of life kind of opens up the possibilities for anything to happen in the movie. I have literally no idea what the plot of the movie is going to be, who the focus is going to be on, nothing. But possibilities are pretty endless with how weird that series is. So it's something to be excited about.
Yeah. And normally when it comes to movies, they tend to like go a little harder when it comes to the budget. So the animation is going to look really good. So that's something else to look forward to.
Yeah, Yor's kicks are going to look delicious.
Yes, all the action scenes, all the fighting. Oh, I wish it came out now.
Yeah. The Decrepit Storm said when that show was picked in winter, talking about the 100 or 1,000 Girlfriend show, I didn't even watch it. I just had a feeling it was going to die. QRW6 says, what up, KOA? We're missing one person, but the show must go on. True.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. QRW6 says, Aqua is too connected to the series where the show could always flesh her out. Decrepit Storm says, hopefully we can get it sometime soon. Reason why My Hero Academia movies are still successful. Yeah, I haven't watched any of those movies, but they also do the thing to where it's non-canon, which I think is cool.
Yeah, they got 4 of them, and they all do very well.
Yeah, I think JJK 0 was good for a movie because it was canon, but it was separate from the main story. Yeah, it being a prequel to the story, I do think it's necessary for Ghetto and Yuta specifically, but characters outside of that, I don't really think is that necessary for. But just to know what happened to Ghetto, because the story tells you, but you're kind of confused by it because of the main story. What you get is we know that some guy died that was close to Gojo a year ago, and some people fought in it. That one of those people being Todo and a character they haven't shown yet. But yeah, they don't really show you exactly what happened. And you don't get anything from Yuta like, at all. Yeah, that's that for that. This one is a heartbreaker for me. Kakegurui is going on hiatus for a couple of months, and this mangaka is a troll. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
He decides to do this right after we get out of a major flashback, which I was happy we got out of the flashback because the flashback was about 10 plus chapters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but consider it's a monthly series, we've been in this flashback for a year. No joke, we've been in this flashback for a year.
Holy crap. He releases it once a month?
Yep. It's a monthly series. And some months we weren't getting the full length of pages, because usually with a monthly series, you're getting about, on average, like 35 pages. And I'm kind of lowballing that number, but it's around that number. And we weren't getting the average, but we got out the flashback. I was happy. I was excited because we were supposed to transition to the final phase of the manga, which was supposed to be the big showdown between our two ladies. But now we're gonna have to wait on that. So yeah, you know what you did. You're a troll. I don't like you. You can write, but you got to stop. Or you got to start. At some point, you got to end the story. I know you don't want to do it, but all good things must come to an end eventually. Please.
So is it like almost done?
Based on what's going on in the story, yeah, you would think it's almost done. Like,
wow,
it's going to be the big bad gamble. It's the gamble we've all been waiting for. You know, I won't spoil it for anybody that doesn't read Kakaguri, but anybody that does, you understand what I mean by that. It's the thing that we've been working towards since the very beginning of the story. So, sucks that we're being denied of that, but I'm sure once we bounce back, you know, I'll be happy with it again, because it's hard for him to miss when he's locked in. So it is what it is.
The mangaka needs time to think about how to end it. You know, he's probably just like, okay, I'm going on hiatus. Fuck, how do I end this thing? God, tension, weird faces, detail on the faces, kiss. The end.
I can't get mad at it. I mean, take the time that you need. In all honesty, I say this as a fan who just wants to read it. But if you do need that time, take that time. I think he's cited wanting to come up with more ideas as one of the reasons he was on the hiatus. But yeah, like if you need that time, take the time. Don't rush out a product and not be satisfied with it, because I mean, as a mangaka, you kind of had to your work, like it's not like a book, you know what I mean, where you're typing it and then you get to upload it all at once. You're uploading your resume, and it builds up to your resume. It builds up to the whole picture. So you don't want to release something that you end up going, oh, I don't think that was good material. You want to make sure you're very sure about what you want to release, because that's going to be practically the final product, or the final piece of your product that ends up being your product in the end. So do whatever it takes. I mean, I'll be waiting. So yeah, that is it for the news though. Is there anything you want to add, EA? Because if not,
no,
we'll start.
No news from me. Just I guess let's get into the shows, into Nakama Club. Let's talk about Gargantia on the Vertius planet, episode 12. Moment of Decision. That was the name of the episode, and this is one that I picked for this particular season. I watched it already. I remember this episode. We're coming into the last two episodes, which is building towards something. Satsuki, take it away. What did you think?
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, you called it. As soon as you said it, I was like, he knows. He knows. There's no disguising that.
It was just something so weird about however Kugo was on screen. And I noticed, I don't know why it crossed my brain for a second, but it just did. I was thinking to myself, have we seen Kugo? I kept thinking to myself, okay, we seen the transmissions, we seen the hologram, but for whatever reason, we haven't seen Kugo in the flesh for whatever reason. And then once the episode started with Stryker on a throne instead of him, I said, oh no, this is not right. Why is the robot sitting on the throne like he's I said, no way. Yeah, so yeah. My theory was solidified and kind of just verified by the end of it.
Yeah, that was. I remember when I first saw it too. I guess if you're not really paying attention, you could miss it because he is talking and everything. But if you miss it, you might just not notice the fact that we haven't seen his actual body. We haven't seen him get out of anything. We've only seen a hologram, and we've seen the voice coming from the machine. So it's definitely one of those. Am I tripping, or is this person like very secluded for some reason? And sure enough, at the very end, when we see the epic fight, Leto pops open the hatch, and what do we see? We see Kugel's body, which I guess when it touches air, it just turns the body into just absolute dust and bones, and the head pops off.
Decomposes immediately.
Right. I don't know if that was the thing, is that like maybe the airs or the atmosphere just like did something to the body. But yeah, pretty much was dead at the end. And the last scene that you see at the end is that, you know, Stryker's latch is open, but then you also see Kugel's head is now off. So it's two pieces are now gone. So it's just like, oh shoot, Kugel's been dead for God knows how long. What are we gonna do now? So now that it's no longer a matter of, oh, this is a higher ranking commander, do what they say. Commander's dead. Now I'm the captain now, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, just for the indications of the story, one of the reasons I thought it was this way too, not just because of his body not being shown, I just thought that it would be more symbolic of the themes that were being presented to us, that the humans in actuality were being puppeteered by the mechs that we saw. So in this case, that actually is what's happening. Like the AI is the one that's completely controlling us, and in a very slick manner by using the human's voice to kind of navigate everybody to do their bidding. And it's weird because they know I guess it's not weird. They know exactly what they're doing though, because whereas Chamber doesn't really have an ego or a personality, everything's very pragmatic and this is what we need to do. But with Stryker, because there's a moment in the episode where they said, obey me, basically like showing this God complex. And that's not something that you would see. That's not something that we've seen of Chamber. Chamber might say, oh, we need to do this because it just makes sense. But in this instance, they're talking as if like they are a cult leader, like a cult leader with a God complex. And that just goes to show you kind of what they think humans would listen to, because I think it's tailor made for other humans to follow them, because I still believe that the ultimate goal of Stryker is to evolve humanity. So I think that underlying thing is still prevalent, but I think it's doing it in a way that we would listen to, and we wouldn't listen to a robot telling us what to do, but we would listen to maybe some charismatic person that uses the apocalypse or whatever as like a guise to get us to get scared and do things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really interesting, especially I guess this happened more towards the beginning, where we see kind of the cultish type stuff where because it was raining, oh, we thank the world for this rain, let's put these people in suits, zip them up and throw them overboard and give them back to the water, because that's what our leaders intended. It's like, I want out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I thought we were gonna like do a bunch of pillaging, get some cool stuff, pirating.
Yeah, that sounded a lot more fun.
Yeah, I didn't sign up to be thrown overboard when it rained.
Yeah, they even had a kid in doing that too.
And I think that's when Leto was just like, nah, my captain, my commander, lieutenant, whoever, lost his damn mind.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't doing this no more. Sure enough, it was never him.
Yeah.
I guess that just tells you why.
Mm-hmm. And the go ahead.
I'll just say I loved Leto's kind of like, we saw basically the character growth, the rebellion side, because I think his whole life he's always followed orders, followed commands, never backtalked, always followed without questioning anything.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment where his time on Gargantia really showed through, where he's just like, no, this isn't right. This, before maybe I would have agreed and followed orders blindly without having to take on any kind of responsibility. But now it's a matter of right and wrong. And to him, this is really wrong. And all he had to do was think about his big booty Amy. And
that's all that's in his mind. It's just, oh, that ass. I need to go back.
She gave me that private dance that one time. Oh man, Kugel, I know you're my lieutenant, but
you ain't got an ass like that.
You ain't got an ass like that, as once said by Eminem. But yeah, it's I love that together, and he put a plan together, so to speak, and just all the dominoes just started falling. This is leading up to epic conclusion. That's all I'll say. So we're in it now. We're in the thick of it now, for sure.
Yeah. Leto's talk with Chamber was one of the best moments in the episode, where he expresses that he's never really made a decision for himself, because things were controlled either by his lieutenant Kugel, anybody else higher up, considering that he's a soldier, and by Chamber himself, who tried to steer him on the quote unquote right path. But the right path doesn't really put, taking into account morals, ethics, things that are true and near and dear to you. And what's near and dear to him is his friends and potential girlfriend on Gargantia. So that's what he cares about. That's what he's here to protect. So good to see him stand on his own too, and rebel. Like the moment he said, I think him saying that was one of my favorite moments of the episode, but what really got me hyped was him just going, Chamber, how well do you think you could fight against Stryker? I thought that was like, oh shit, yeah, now you become a man.
Yeah, at first he was just like, I don't have enough information, but based off of what you got, can you do it? I'd be able to take them on.
Yeah, it definitely got me high, because I was like, all right, we're going to get some mech fights now. We haven't had a mech fight yet.
No, this is which is funny, because like I feel like this is kind of like in the genre of the mech genre. It's the last two episodes we're now getting an actual mech fight, which is funny when you really think about it. But yeah, we got Pinion saying, fuck this cult thing. took that thing off his forehead. Was like, I'm done. I am done.
He should be glad that they just gave him like some permanent marker tattoo instead of doing like what they did with the Walkers. You remember those? Not the Walkers. We know what they did in Walking Dead. I think they were not the Whisperers. They weren't called the Whisperers. They were like the like this wolf cult people. Like one of the leaders' teeth was really yellow. I forgot what they were called.
I stopped watching it.
Oh man, it was probably like season 6, 7-ish, around that.
Yeah, I think I stopped at that point.
Just for anybody that didn't see that, there was basically this cult in Walking Dead, and they marked themselves by actually like skinning themselves. Like it was like an actual mark on their forehead. I don't know how they make it. I don't know if they use a knife or whatever, but yeah, very nasty looking stuff. So Pinion should be glad they just decided to give him temporary tattoo thingy.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, good thing it wasn't a permanent tattoo or a permanent scar like that. It's just like, yeah, it's just a little bit of paint. When it rains, it washes off. Just whatever.
Yeah. And I didn't think about that too, but I'm pretty sure we've all heard this, like how the use of water is a lot shown in a lot of media to symbolize renewal. Whether that's somebody getting baptized, somebody falling into the pool, the rain in this episode. Because after we get the rain, it kind of incites a rebellious ferocity with everybody, not just Leto, but let's talk about Lady Rackage, actually doing something, which I was happy to see.
Yeah, she got tired of being in the ship too. It was basically just, yeah, I kind of miss being a pirate and going out on the seas fighting, having my slave girls and stuff. This is too boring for me. I want to get back to being rebellious, and as you have here in the notes, Sasuke, it seems like Pinion and Lady Rackage was kind of, getting along a little too well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was like, Pinion, I thought you were, I pegged you as a man who was more willful. And then, after he did the rebellious thing, it seemed like she gained a little more respect for him. So, I mean, Pinion, he kind of wants to stand on his own anyways. I don't know if he would stay in Gargantia by the end of the series. He just seems like more of a free spirit. So I would not be surprised if that became a thing. Like, I don't think they were like settle down with each other, but I wouldn't be surprised if he actually had a fling or something with her. They're around same age, maybe not. So I wouldn't be shocked.
It seems like more of his type of girl anyway, versus Bellows, where he just always butted heads with her. Lady Rackage, she's got a little bit of a mean streak to her, but she speaks his language. So, he's like, okay, meet me in my chambers. Not that chamber, but but my actual place where I sleep.
I feel like Lady Rackage is the woman he would just have, like, that's where he has his crazy days, and then Bellows is somebody he'll probably settle with or something.
Lady Rackage is his fun nights at bars and running out, doing beer runs and stuff.
Yeah, once he gets 30, he's just like, all right, I gotta stop.
Yeah, it's like, Lady Rackage, we had our fun times, but you're just too much for me. I need to find me a girl you settle down with. Oh shit, that's funny. One of the crazier, well, I guess just one of the moments I just remember most from this episode too was, what was Amy's friends? It has it right here.
Melty,
that's right, Melty. She came through in a clutch and did one of the more important things of this episode, which was nonstop fly on a glider to basically tell Gargantia, battle stations, we're going to be under attack. Come on. That was pretty cool to see it, because I didn't think those side characters anyway were going to be of any importance, but Melty kind of had her moment that in that moment right there, which was pretty neat. That was fun. Leto was reminded by Amy through the little squirrel. I guess in this world, squirrels are just on ships all the time, even though it's on water. It's not near any woods or any vegetation or something like that.
Brazilian squirrel.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so cute, little thing. But yeah, we're nearing the end of it. Last episode. Cannot wait.
I do want to add something with the Melty thing, but I'm gonna read a little bit of the chat first. Decrepit Storm says, I wasn't as engaged with the show in the last few episodes, but there were definitely some interesting things in this episode. I think she's actually been dead since spring, and you've been using a robot for the last few months. We can't prove it, so you might be right. Who knows? Like, cool. Yeah, we just been propping some guy up. We just have the little the PNG thing moving around.
Right. It's like, see tactics. I am love.
I love Flatalina.
She makes me long and hard. Hi, Rising. How you doing?
What's good, Rising?
Good, sir.
Oh man. Oh, okay. So the thing I wanted to say about Melty is, that's a pretty impressive feat what she did. I don't know how far she glided, but first and foremost, she's gliding. She's not actually flying. She's using other things to propel her in the air as long as possible. But again, she's just gliding through the air. And that's probably a long area to travel. Why it's so impressive is she's flying through the air, high altitude. So it's going to be hard to breathe. She's cutting through air with no protection. She's not wearing any type of gear. Like she's wearing like her belly dance gear still.
Yeah.
And she's flying for probably hours upon hours, dehydrated, probably getting hungry as well, just tired, because she has to keep holding on, and probably cold as hell. So it's actually a pretty impressive thing. They don't really emphasize how much she did by explicitly telling you, but I could see why she would be passed out the way she did, the way she was, because that's a pretty hard task.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's crazy because I feel like when she was told to like deliver the message, it was nighttime and then it was morning.
Yeah,
that's how long she was flying, and like her body just gave out, and she was like, "Oh, it's Gargantia." Luckily, Amy just so happens to be a psychic and just just catches her right before she falls. But you just gotta let those things slide every once in a while.
Yeah. But good on Melty. Good on Melty. Yep. And it seems like they are going to stand their ground and they're going to fight along with Leto. So yeah. Last episode should be very interesting. I wonder how they'll embrace Leto after he's kind of proven his loyalty,
Yeah.
Because this was a true test of his character, and he stood to protect them. So yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what you think at the end, because this, I'm enjoying the rewatch for sure, but I remember really liking the show when I first saw it, and I think, to me personally, the ending solidified it. And
gotcha.
Yeah, let's can't wait to talk about that next week.
All right. So that is that for Gargantia. One more episode and we'll be done. I'll announce to you guys what show I'm going to be picking for Nakama Club, because next week I'll do that, because once Gargantia is up, it is going to be my turn, and I got a treat for y'all if y'all haven't seen it. It's a semi-popular show. It's one where maybe some people saw it, but it's not in the public eye like that. And it's not a show that people talk about a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you.
So
that's why I feel like Gargantia is. It's a good show, but not many people hear or even know about it.
Yeah, it's the first time I heard about it. But now, our Christmas present, what we got for Christmas. Not only did we get new mics, cameras, figurines, but we got Zom 100, 3 episodes, the final output from the studios. First and foremost, I just want to say, I'm glad that they were able to complete this, because things were looking very scary for the series. Once Shaft
gave him the shaft.
No, I was once Shaft pulled out. It was looking very scary. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the show. I expected a hiatus once we kept getting news on the production, but luckily we were able to get it before the year ended, because it could have been even worse than this, honestly. But yeah, they were able to complete the show. We got 3 episodes to talk about. I don't like to stay in a bubble of it. I kind of want things to be free flowing on this. So wherever you want to go with it, EA, we can go with it. How did you feel about these episodes, just as a first impression type of thing?
Well, okay. So I remember how this series ended originally before it got put on hiatus, and that was back in the summer when we were watching this. So I was literally like not happy with the way the direction was going, because we got a villain, we got a group of people that were also, we have our own list that we want to fulfill before the end of the world, and I'm like, don't do that. That's dumb.
We're the MC group, but evil.
Right. Essentially, that's what it was. But now, and I watched it today. So I wasn't gonna watch it yesterday, but I watched all of them today, and I gotta say that I didn't hate how this series ended. If I'm being honest, I hated the way that it was going with the notebook thing, but I liked how everything wrapped up and ended, because I feel as if the show has always had a theme, and that was live your life and don't be in a rut. We have dissected it through and through, and they kept with the same theme these 3 episodes, and that was on the reverse spectrum, which was, why would somebody come to the point of hating somebody's just the world's ending, and they want to do everything they want, but they want to do the bad stuff. And in this case, it was just a lot of things. They were an asshole in their work days. They were with somebody who they never treated with respect or never showed that affection for. You name it, just a weird, cringy guy that just never wanted to talk to anybody, but just always felt sorry for themselves. And I definitely felt like it still kept in that same message, where it was like, don't wait for it to be the end of the world to just kind of like fix those sorts of things. Act now and do it. It's just a different way of explaining it, because when it comes to our main character, Akira, or Tendo, however, he almost lost his way, but then once the zombie apocalypse happened, he kind of like got to where he wanted to fulfill the stuff he wanted to do. As for main villain Higurashi, good show.
The original, by the way, not we don't talk about Sotsu.
Yeah, the original and the sequel to the original was pretty good too. But those are only 2 I really like. But the main guy, Higurashi, he's basically the different kind of version of that, where he kind of let it all fester, and essentially this could have been Tendo at the end if he kept that all in, is kind of the way I took it. So I guess overall, I didn't hate it. I definitely didn't hate it, and I enjoyed it. There was this whole series has always kind of had its like ups and downs, especially with some of the weirder stuff that happened in these 3 episodes. And we'll definitely get into those into detail. But I didn't hate it. I honestly went into it thinking I was going to hate it, but when it was all said and done, I was like, okay, that was actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, I think it, in a way, redeemed itself a little bit. Is it the best thing I've ever watched, or is it the best of the season? Not even close. But I still thought it was a fun series, and for any of those zombie fans that love it, or even people that just like weird kind of stuff, I would recommend it for sure.
Okay. Decrepit Storm says, I stopped watching Zom 100, but props to the studio for getting it completed. Yeah. Zom 100 pulled through in the end, but next time take your time or get more people so you don't have to be dependent on Shaft. And Decrepit Storm says, C gets sick just in time for Zom 100. Convenient timing.
I was thinking the same thing.
Maybe the show made him sick.
Right. Because let's be honest and see if you're watching on, who knows. I know he didn't really care for this show all that much. So to be honest, it's kind of better that we're talking about it. We kind of started with this series and now we're ending it. So it's just kind of convenient how it ended that way.
Yeah. We did start the first episode, just us. Because I think when C joined, it was when we were like in the 4th episode around that time. Because I remember the first episode we definitely did alone. And then I think 2 probably as well.
Yeah. He kind of like had to play catch up with a bunch of shows. And we started it. And I remember that for sure.
Yeah. As for me in totality, how I feel about these episodes, I think they were all right. I definitely think I had a lot of negative to say about these episodes, but it's not the worst thing. I definitely thought this whole thing with Higurashi could have gone over a lot worse. But like you said, the show stuck to what got it here by having like this optimistic point of view by the end of it. Do I like the fact that a villain that was doing the heinous things that he was doing kind of got some sign of not redemption necessarily, but he got an extended hand of being able to change things? Do I really like that? At my core, I don't, but it goes along with the show because it's more lighthearted, even though it's in the setting of a zombie apocalypse. And it just goes along with Tendo's character as someone who's a lot more free-spirited and is of the mindset that it's not too late to chase your dreams and change yourself. It is interesting. I wish the execution was a little better when it came to their 2 different world points or world views. Because it's kind of like, this is something that I think I talked about on the podcast before, but when you think of the concept of nihilism, which is the concept that life is meaningless, a lot of the times people view nihilism with a negative connotation, as if people have a pessimistic view on life. When in actuality, nihilism is more neutrality, absolute neutrality, and thinking that sometimes it can go in the opposite way of what people initially think, in that life is meaningless, so I might as well have fun. In some ways, Tendo is like that. You could think of him as a nihilism because his whole thing, because just listen to how their notebooks are kind of phrased. I think Tendo's is 100 things I want to do before I turn into a zombie. And Higurashi's is like, I'm trying to remember the correct phrasing, because I remember it was very similar, but it showed you the difference between those two in the phrasing. I think it was like, I think it was just like 10 things I want to do before I die or something like that.
Yeah.
Before I get bitten or something. No, yeah, I think that's what it was. I think with Tendo's, it was like 100 things I want to do before I die, and with him, it's like 100 things I want to do before I get bitten. Kind of resigning himself to the fate of becoming a zombie. Whereas Tendo is kind of like, hey, I might die of this, I may die of old age, I might die of he doesn't really know. But
right.
Yeah. Once they kind of let go of the shackles of society and they were more free, because I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse, you could die at any time. You saw their different outlooks on it. Whereas Tendo is more joyous and free-spirited and whatnot. You have this guy who wants to take out some people just want to watch the world burn. You know, he just turns into the Joker and shit. And he wants to burn down everything and hurt everybody that he didn't like. So yeah. I appreciate the concept they were going for. I just don't think the execution was that great with, especially like you mentioned already, him having a notebook too. I mean, I felt like that was just too on the nose, you know?
Yeah.
At least have him,
exactly.
at least have like something, it be unique to him. Maybe not use a notebook, maybe him taking a mental note of things he wants to do. That would have probably worked out a little better for me. It just felt like you guys were trying to tie these two characters together too much with that one thing, that being a notebook.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess the first of these 3 episodes, they kind of made mention to that. They already, and Tendo and Kensho, they already knew this character.
Yep.
Like they went to the same college or whatever it was. And I feel like they could have gone more with that than they could have with the fact that he also had a notebook. I feel like and I get it, there's time constraints, there's only 12 episodes, you can't do much with what you can. But I feel like if you would have just focused more on the fact that this guy was more, has that pessimistic view and just goes the way that he does with the world, and because we did get the backstory with him, it's just that it was a little too convenient with a lot of things that oh, we knew this person, oh, he also has a notebook, oh, if only he would have just went to McDonald's or wherever they were going when he invited them. It's just, there was a lot of things that I felt like which is way too convenient just for the story's sake, but they could have made it so much more interesting had they had more time. And I know this is based off of manga, so maybe that's not the anime's fault, but regardless, I feel like they definitely could have done more with it. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a little sad from when, and I'm skipping way ahead to the last episode, where he does get bit and he slowly is turning into a zombie because Tendo says, what is it that you really wanted to do? Because you seemed like you weren't happy that whole time that the world was ending and you were doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said, I wanted to spend summer at the pool with my friends.
Yeah.
And that's what he really wanted. And that was, when you see his memories of that, he was way younger. So if anything, it's more of a time that he had but wishes he could go back to. So it's almost as if that whole, his whole like just being mad at the world and everything was the fact that maybe he lost his friends and maybe he grew away, maybe he moved. I can't remember his full backstory. Maybe it mentioned it and I forgot, but yeah, it just seemed like he was just mad at the world after that. But I did get a little when he was just like, they do that thing at the end where he finally he imagines himself back in the pool and everything, and he's just free falling back in. Yeah, I thought that was really well done. It actually got me a little, and I was like, I didn't think it would get me a little. I wasn't full on bawling or anything, but just a little misty-eyed. A little misty-eyed. Yeah, no, I barely knew you. Why? but yeah, I was just like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. Can we talk about the real villain of the show? Because it's not Higurashi. It's Tendo and his culture appropriating himself. Why did he have dreadlocks for 3 fucking episodes?
It was part of what he wanted to do.
I know it was. And I remember them writing that, and I just remember going, what? When it was written. And then he actually did it, and I just went, what? Because it's the first thing that we see. It's damn near like the first scene that we see. And I'm like, yo, we just came off a hiatus, and the first thing I see is you culture vulturing and having dreads.
Oh my god.
Which I don't even know how they did that. Props to like on a real note, props to those makeup girls, because this has to be the best team ever of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
They're able to have they're able to have a Japanese man have dreads which is possible because I've seen it before, but it's not easy. There is not the right hair type to do that. But they would have gave him dreadlocks. But fast forwarding with the whole plan, I thought this plan was odd to say the least, but they were able to execute it because they literally have the best makeup team of all time. Do you know how long it takes for? Because you if you watch any behind the scenes thing or whatever, like if you watch Walking Dead or whatever, or Walking Dead is a great example because of all the makeup they had to have with the zombies and whatnot.
Hours
it takes for them to make those disguises. God, the guy who plays Negan, I cannot remember.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He has tattoos on like his hand or whatever. And it takes them hours just to cover up his tattoo. If it takes that long to cover up just, minor stuff like that, for you to make a realistic looking zombie in like under a minute is insane. Like you can't do it. You actually cannot do that.
I mean, months ago they were having some kind of writers and actors strike and everything else like that. I know for sure the people that were on strike were not these makeup people. They were the ones that probably got raises and were told, you're going to work on every movie from now on ever in Japan, because if they can do makeup that fucking quick
and that good,
circumstance and that good and believable, then they're the only people in Japan that do makeup. Guaranteed. Like, why would you pay anyone anything? Oh, that takes them hours to do that. You see these two girls over here? They do it in literal seconds.
In the dark.
With no lighting. Right. In the dark, no lighting, no just any kind of professional in it, they're just spitballing it. No mirrors.
Nope.
Just all of it just done.
Yeah, it's like how in cartoons where they fight and they have the little smoke bubble and you just see the fist and the stars. That's how they do makeup. It's just like a bubble. That fixed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally a cloud, and once the cloud settles, makeup on his face, zombie.
Yeah.
I agreed. I thought the same thing, because first of all, I knew he wasn't going to get his ass bit by a zombie just to save what we thought at the time, his dying father anyway. So, he wasn't going to do that. But then when you even heard it too, it's like, wait, what's happening?
Ah!
No! Don't kill me! Great acting by Tendo. And then he comes out. That acting was perfect. He looked just like a zombie. But I'm like, there has to be a trick to this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way he's a zombie. I'd be surprised. And that's what he did. He was like, acting like it. And he's like, gotcha!
Gotcha, bitch!
Gotcha, bitch! And then pulls Higurashi down and became victorious. And then that's when it explained how everything happened. And that was when the makeup... Thank God she was a makeup artist too, or else this plan wouldn't have worked.
Yep.
But you saw everything. She's like, I'm gonna give you some blush, a little eyeshadow, gonna get some of this for blood and whatever. I'm like, all this shit.
The greatest of all time.
The greatest to ever do it. I swear to God. Like, there needs to be a wall of fame or something for this individual's life. Hair, makeup, everything, that goes to her. You need to aspire to be her.
We don't even know their names, I don't think.
If they said it, I don't remember. I just know them as the makeup girls. That's all they are.
Salute to them. We didn't think your skills would be necessary in the apocalypse, but thank you to those ladies.
Yep. It will not be forgotten.
So, because we're skipping around these 3 episodes,
they're basically a 3-parter. They all kind of go together. So
yeah, it all blends together. It's all a part of the same narrative. But I actually thought like the beginning of it was really good, just getting the setup of. I knew it was all going to end with the village eventually being overran and whatnot, just because of the lingering villain that we saw in the previous episode 9. But I thought it was a good way of making us care more for the village, and when it did get overran, it would give us more tension instead of just killing some random characters, because we were getting some things with Tendo and his father and his mother, Shizuka and other villagers, and how she was kind of using her smarts to help them out as like the pseudo doctor. Then it came with Angie and Kencho, which I want to talk more about that, because I'll talk more about that. But that and then Beatrix, I forgot what Beatrix was doing exactly, but that she was doing her own thing too.
The only thing I remember is that someone said, "This is the switch for the electrical fence. Don't touch the electrical fence."
Okay.
And I think that was it.
So that was set up for her to do that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really want to talk. Well, the Tendo and his father thing, I thought was probably the best thing at episode 10. The scene where they're drinking together and the father expresses his dream as a kid to him of being an astronaut, and Tendo kind of laughs it off, but I think he was 100% serious about what he said. It kind of just gives you that thing that drew me to the show in the beginning, which were overcoming your regrets and not using the excuse that it's too late to do things, because when you're in a zombie apocalypse, I mean, it's not too late to do anything. It's kind of while you want to survive and you want to take care of yourself in that way, you don't have any pressures to do anything else. So chasing your dreams is like, that's at the top of your priority list. It's not, oh, I got to go to work and pay bills, because now you just got to survive, and you're going to have to survive regardless of what you're doing. So hearing him have regrets about not being able to follow through with that because of his old age now and the current state of the world.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty insightful talk.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice, because I feel like, and I might be misremembering because it's been so long since I've seen it, but like, I think his dad was always like a hard ass. So that it was, and he always wanted to. That was his whole thing with Tendo, is he wanted to give back to his parents, because not only was it on his list, but he just felt like, the greatest thing you could ever do for your parents is to basically just say, "Hey, this is how much I appreciate you, and here's how I'm going to show it to you." So, so that was definitely something where he probably thought that he was kidding. He's like, "Why is he giving me this talk? He never talked to me this way before." But funny, when the zombie apocalypse happens, how people that were always hard on you and always, torrent you or whatever, will all of a sudden, be the sweetest thing to you in a way, where it's just like, well, all those things that I said about you, that was just kind of more my feelings. Sorry to put them on to you, son, but, do what you want. So, yeah, I agree. I feel like that was really sweet.
It was also something else that is kind of, I won't say personal to me, because I'm pretty sure other people can have this experience, especially people around our age, like 25 and up, have probably had this experience. But when he's looking at his dad and he's starting to see his age start to show with, more gray, him just looking smaller, that's something that I kind of had to deal with. I mean, I've been taller than my dad for a while now, but it wasn't until maybe a couple years ago that I start to actually feel like he's actually getting small. And a reason that's kind of important for me, or why this resonated for me especially, is because my dad was or is, in my mind, always like a strong father figure to me. Like, when I think of like a tough dude, I think of my dad. So seeing not saying my dad looks weak now, but seeing him look weaker. Whereas like in my mind, I kind of built him up to be this type of way, almost like this mythical figure.
Right.
To see him change like that, I think it resonated a lot with me because it's something I also had to deal with. So this definitely drew from a little personal experience, like just basic life stuff, seeing your parents age. And that's kind of why he wants to do good for them, because he feels that with the cycle of life, they taking care of me for 18 years, probably longer, supported me. And now I want to do the same for them because now they're in the waning years of their life. So, he wants to do right by them. So that was something I definitely appreciated. Probably my favorite part in these episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that you say that too, because it's I agree with that. It's when he was saying, when did my dad's hands get so small? When did he start getting that gray? That just goes to show you what you remember your parents as, and then when you get older, what you see them as now. It's that whole time always. It's on our ass all the time, and it always catches up with us. And hell, even myself, I was looking in the mirror the other day, and I just look under here, and I'm like, fuck, all these are gray hairs. I have gray hairs on my fucking beard now. It is what it is, It's part of me. It's who I am. It's nothing in my hair yet, thankfully, but definitely in my beard. And man, it's time. It waits for nobody. That is for sure.
You can only embrace it. You can only embrace it because you can't run from it.
No, and you can try. There are those celebrities that have such bad cosmetics. Have you seen what Madonna looks like now?
I don't want to look. I don't want to know what she looks like now.
I had no idea she looked like this, but my girlfriend showed me this. I want to say like maybe a couple weeks ago. She's like, have you seen what Madonna looks like now? I said, no. Because in my mind, I know what Madonna looks like. But if you type in Madonna 2023, you would be looking at
Jesus Christ.
Right? That is not a person. That is not the same person. And I had no idea that she looked like that because I know what Madonna looks like. That's not Madonna. I guess what I was getting at is like what you were saying. You could choose to embrace it, or you can do what Madonna did and go against it.
Yeah. I don't want to, because I don't like being, even if it's a celebrity, I don't like being like super cruel on people, especially if they haven't done anything in this sense to warrant it. But I think when you do run from it in this way, a lot of cosmetic stuff, Botox, whatever it may be, you just gotta, you have to embrace it because, but I think that's the problem with a lot of celebrities. It's just when you have that spotlight on you all the time, it's like you feel pressure to meet a standard of beauty, especially with a person like Madonna, because literally they use her name as a noun for a standard of beauty. Like you like somebody will say like let's say like Komi-san, like everybody loves Komi-san, everybody thinks she's beautiful. People will say, oh, she's the Madonna of the school.
Yeah.
Like that's an actual thing that people use. So when you've reached the, I guess, like popularity and infamy in people's mind of being a standard of beauty, you want to maintain that, and that could affect your mental health and lead you into things like this. But I mean, at the end of the day, as long as she thinks she looks good, that's really all that matters. Doesn't really matter what random guy on KOA thinks.
Right, I agree. I mean, I know I was the one that brought it up, but still, I guess I was just using that more as an example. And I definitely hear what you're saying, because it's, when you're supposed to look a certain way and you're in the spotlight all the time, it's kind of hard to go away from that. It really is. I feel like most celebrities go through all that, where they just either they lose their hair, and they turn out to be like John Travolta that has no hair now, or if they just like, I don't know, they get a lot of cosmetic surgery, they get like huge lips or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis looks good. She's a great example of she got older and still looks great. She I don't think she had any surgery done to her, but now we're talking about celebrity gossip. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry to derail this.
We just turned it to drama alert.
We turned into Fashion Police or whatever that show with Joan Rivers. Oh my god.
Yeah. But okay, so I wanted to speak on Angie and Kensho.
Oh,
This I just okay. This focus on them made me want more episodes. Like, I wish there were more episodes so they could have fleshed out what they were going for with these two characters better. Because all it ended up becoming, or all it ended up doing, was we have this girl, she's depressed because she lost her family. She hasn't smiled in a long time. Kencho makes a bad joke. She laughs. They kind of run around. He kind of saves her in a way. And she ends up missing him. That's basically like the summarization of their relationship. And I don't think it hit as hard because there wasn't any build up to him making her laugh. I felt like there should have been a build up with that specific thing to make other things in the future feel so you felt more personally connected to it, because he just makes one bad joke and makes her laugh, and it's like, oh well, mission accomplished.
Oh, look at me! I'm a hyven.
I'm going to eat what did he say? I'm going to eat udon. Oh my god.
Oh my god. He said he was going to eat udon with his ass or something like that.
And I just went, okay, so that's why I wrote in my notes. I said, Kencho wants to make a little girl smile and tries it with sexual harassment. I'm just, because he didn't say the udon thing then, like right then when he made her laugh, but he said something about getting naked, and I was like, you do realize this is a little girl,
right? She's like 7.
I don't think this is the right way to do things.
Hey, I'm gonna make you laugh, little girl. Let me take off my clothes. Oh my god, no. I agree.
Oh
I mean,
God.
I do agree with you. I feel like it definitely needed more episodes between those two, because I feel like, other than the weird sexual nudity references, I feel like their chemistry was pretty good. Like, I think what they were trying to go for was that here's this little girl, Angie, who's, just lost her parents, and she's, really upset by it. So, and she has a dog. That damn dog. We'll talk about that later. That's just inseparable with the dog. So then here comes over Kensho to kind of basically cheer her up and everything, which I thought was sweet. That was really cool. But I could definitely see how it just kind of really rushed into it, where it's just like, udon, am I right? Eat it with my butthole. See, we need more time with that.
And I think why it would have been smart for them to give those two more time is because I think for his character of wanting to be a comedian, it would have been a test for his character to try different things out if his initial joke didn't work.
Right.
That would have gave credence to his whole comedy gimmick thing in the show, that he would try his hardest to make someone laugh, even if they weren't going for it. If he made that his ambition, maybe you could even have her travel with them, and maybe she didn't smile in these 3 episodes. You could have had her travel with them for a little bit, and he kept working trying to get her to smile. But even if you didn't want to go that far, I think they should have never let the mission be the mission be accomplished that fast, because it was kind of like, all right, now he's just gonna, now that he has that done, now he's just gonna protect the little girl like he's a Joel and Last of Us or something.
That would have been interesting had they gone that kind of a route. But yeah, just super quick, Just the Angie, you know, when he's about to, Kencho is about to leave on his bike and everything. Bye. Come back and eat some udon out your ass when you get back. I went. Whoa.
If I was one of the parents there, I'd been like, what did she just say?
Yeah. I would have been like, I'm sorry. Huh? What? What have you been saying to this little girl?
Oh my god.
I could explain.
It's not what it sounds like. It's
right. Typical anime trope. I could explain. That scene from SpongeBob, where you see him wearing the clothes. the was it like girls' clothes? No, I think it was little kids' clothes because he had lollipop and like overalls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can explain.
Yeah. I think they caught him like 2 or 3 times just lacking in random places.
Yeah, because that was the episode where Sandy was trying to hibernate and like she was going down, the sand dunes really quick and then just tore his clothes off, and that's when he first did it. She's ripping off houses to see if she can find SpongeBob later in the episode, and she goes, SpongeBob, and the guy's still dressed up as a kid and just goes, I could explain.
I want to hear his explanation now.
I do too. I want to know, what is there to explain? Why are you dressed up like a kid when you're a full-grown adult?
Is it role play? Like, what is this? Something like a sex thing? I don't know. Man. But yeah, so I guess the other big thing to talk about is just with the Higurashi group and the other people involved in it, because I already saw what they were going for with this, but we had our one-on-ones with everybody. So not even talking about Higurashi himself, some of the other guys that we got, oh my
god. Are you going to talk about the guy with the giant juicy lips?
Mr. NTR, man, he is a traditional NTR hentai protagonist.
He was licking his lips. He had the fat lips going, and they actually animated a scene where is it Shizuku?
Yeah, Shizuka.
I got it right. Oh, Shizuka. Okay, I almost had it. Shizuka's running away from a giant pair of lips. She's running away going,
it's funny because of how absurd it is, but at the same time I'm just like, wait, why are y'all making this a joke? Like he's in a bit like, think about what I'm about to say right now. His ambition is to be a sexual assaulter. That is insane. I'm not saying there wouldn't be someone like this in the world. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, how do you make someone this egregiously bad as a character and then try to make it like this funny gag thing, basically? Because I honestly don't think he got treated bad enough when I think about it. Because
he just kind of fucked up at his job and didn't know how. Was he in another country? Because it seemed like he was trying to figure out what the number 6 was. And I'm like, is he in another country?
I think he was just in an Italian restaurant.
Oh, that's what it, yep. Okay, so it was the restaurant itself. It wasn't that he was somewhere else. Yeah. But he got real upset over the fact that, oh, well, you're not learning fast. Oh, you better hurry up. Assholes, why you telling me? And he smokes a cigarette and lights the fucking place on fire. I don't know if that was by mistake or on purpose, but it's like, you kind of had it coming, especially if you burn an establishment down.
Yeah. Which, I mean, do they not have any, like, sprinkle, like waters, something in place for that? You would think, and especially in a kitchen, there would be some preventative measures for fires.
Oh, absolutely. Those grease fire little things, the grease traps or whatever, those things have that. If they ever caught on fire, just a little foam will come out and shoot out and stuff like that. But yeah, you would think in a kitchen they would have some kind of sprinkler system. Not this one. They wanted the insurance money. They wanted it full on.
They didn't pay any bills. This place just sucks.
Yeah, it's like, this place sucks. Just light it on fire, Joe. Okay.
Wait, that might be a good theory. Maybe he didn't actually start the fire. We didn't start the fire.
Fire.
It was always for insurance fraud.
We just did it to get loans and money back. Oh shit! Yeah, it was interesting to see all the different stories. What I thought was the most interesting was just the first guy, and that was the one where he kind of blamed his unhappy marriage on the significant other than taking a look in the mirror and saying, what am I doing wrong? You know, the woman with the micromanaging kind of like whatever, she was whatever. I didn't really care for her character, to be honest. But that guy was, I thought it was interesting, especially because, you know, I always feel like relationships are kind of like, you know, it's a give and take kind of thing. Both have to be involved, but you know, if one person's only working, it sucks.
It's usually never just one person that is the cause of a relationship failing.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is like this guy was complaining and saying that, oh, my wife was always, you know, we don't talk anymore. We nag. You know, we got married. You know, we did all this. Blah 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 blah. But it's kind of like what Kencho said. You ever thanked her for all those times that she watched your kid? Do you ever, like, you know, just sometimes you got to rekindle that that luster, like what made you fall in love the first time. You know, I understand when you get married, maybe things, and this isn't everybody, but some people might just kind of become habitual with sorts of things where everything's just routine, and you're in that normal, what would you like, dear? Chicken's fine. All right, I'll see you when you get home. And it's just that every fucking day.
Yeah.
You gotta spice it up every once in a while. Can't always be that way.
And two, I think, you know, it's something that may be cliche, but it's definitely true. Like, words of affirmation definitely help. Just tell people how you feel.
Yeah.
That'll change lives, because I think a lot of times people think how they think other people should think they feel is a given. Like, they don't have to explain how they feel. No, sometimes you do have to kind of just tell someone you love them. That'll do wonders. You never know. You never know.
Yeah. I'm a person that I always say I love you, whether it be to my girlfriend, my son, family. I always say it just because I look at it as, if you know, you never know when the last time you're ever going to see them will ever be. And, you know, if some, God forbid, anything were to happen to me or something like that, just to know that the last words they hear from me are something that I care. I always cared for them. So, yeah, I definitely feel that goes a long way for sure.
Yeah. And see, with this whole thing of his backstory and whatnot, I think this is another moment where I like the concept of it, of this backstory, but I thought like the actual fight and what we were getting for was just kind of like nonsense, because first and foremost, I just hate how all of these guys went into their backstories initially, because they just literally just outburst, I hate my fucking life. You remind me of my wife. I'm just like, what the fuck is? What the fuck?
I'm gonna push you over because my wife always pushed me.
Yeah, and you know, we didn't talk about the girl with Beatrice yet, but it was kind of the same for everybody. Everybody just yelling out their gripes and whatnot, and I thought that was a, I guess, lazy way of going about transitioning into their backstories. But I thought the concepts for each of them were interesting. I think the girl was the least one. The one I liked the least.
Yeah, because she was just she was kind of a bitch right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I felt like the one we got of the husband was probably the most realistic.
Yeah.
And even the one we got of the creepy rapist guy, there are some people who seriously just never see themselves as a problem. They just think, I just got a bad rep, bad luck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like everything always happens to me. I never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know, the world's out against me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't stand those people.
Yeah, it was like no accountability on his end with anything that went wrong. And Shizuku kind of explained it, and it's like, you get good luck by, caring about the people around you, whatever. He's very self-centered. But I think what she was going about is that you kind of just don't see a lot of good things in the world if you only focus on yourself, and he was so self-centered and thinking that everything bad happened to him. Well, yeah, probably because you only give a shit about yourself, so
yeah.
Not a lot of good karma to go around for him.
No.
And then he got beat up by old people, so
the freaking old dude, what was his name?
I don't think I wrote it. I don't think I wrote his name down.
Okay, we'll just call him badass old dude. Like, he was obsessed with Shizuka from the beginning because I assume that he thought that was his belated wife.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, and he seemed like old and senile. But just when the second episode comes around, he, wakes up from a slumber, wakes up and is like, "Where's my wife?" Why that? We're a bunch of old people, and you're just gonna lay down and die. Just fucking do this shit.
Just turn into like the Punisher.
Really did, and then just is a sniper, just shoots. I guess the gun out of sexual assaulter's hand, and he just kind of has that. I saved you, baby. Look at it, just everything, and she's like, "Thank you." But yeah, you're right. All the old people just came up and were like, "Yeah," and they just stomped a mud hole in him. They died. Did he die?
I don't think he died.
Really show him died, but because I think the husband and the office woman died. I'm pretty sure they died.
I don't think none of them. I don't think any of them died.
You don't think so? I think
based
Higurashi
on what
died,
he should be dead. I don't know if he died though. The only reason I bring that up is because, especially for the office lady, that looked like a fight. Like that looked like a death for sure, based on what happened.
Yeah, she was completely surrounded and was just like, "What do you mean I can't tell people what to do?"
Yeah. But then I think about every one of them, and I think to myself, would it make sense for them to kill some of them, but not all of them? No. It's kind of like if they all don't die, then what's really the point? Because for me, I feel like the only reason why you would keep them alive is for them to redeem themselves in some way and show they've been shown the error of their ways, and they try to, I don't know, at one point even help these guys. So it wouldn't make sense for me, at least, for you to go, all right, we'll kill Higurashi and then we'll kill office lady, but rapist guy and cheating husband guy gets to live. It doesn't really make much sense to me, because cheating husband guy just ran away. Zombies were all after him. Office lady got surrounded. That one looked like it was a death. And Higurashi, he should have died.
He got bit.
Yeah, he should have died. But the thing is, we never confirmed anyone's death. It just, they were in a very, very compromising situation, but we didn't get any confirmed deaths. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of them made it out, Higurashi included. We don't know.
I'd be surprised if Higurashi lived. I'd literally be like, okay, okay, In what universe do you get bit by a zombie and live, other than if you cut off the wound first before it spreads? But that shit was all up in his brain. He was half zombie on this side and normal on this side. I thought that was a cool scene where you saw the tears come from his eyes, one blood and one regular human tear. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, he should be dead. He should be a drowned zombie, if nothing else.
I just feel that if they were to introduce some cure or anything, because that was talked about in these episodes.
Oh, that's right.
We've seen zombie shows, whether characters are immune or something, or they have something that could create a cure. Maybe he figures something out, and maybe he'll be the key to the future. Because it actually surprised me how fast we beat these guys, just because of him being a direct foil to the MC. Like we seen the MC, we seen some antagonists here and there. We seen the one NTR guy, his former boss, but he wasn't a complete foil to him in a way this guy was. This guy was the antithesis of Tendo, and it felt like he was going to be a lingering antagonist for the series. Because I remember that episode 9 dropped. I didn't like what I was seeing, because I was like, oh God, please don't make this guy a villain that sticks around. And they didn't. But considering how much they threw at us with the Notebook and how different he was from Tendo and them having a past with each other, I feel like they would want to keep this character around. And maybe he will be like a link to a cure in the future because of him surviving some way, somehow. Don't know. That's just a thought.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. That would be interesting. But I don't know if they're going to make any more episodes after this.
Probably not.
The only reason I say that is not because they couldn't. It's just the studio, brand new studio, they literally just finished it after going through so much hell and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they were to try to do a second season of this, they would maybe switch studios. That would be the only thing. That, or pray to God that Shaft doesn't leave, or not Shaft, but just any studio where if they're like, could you please help us out, sir? Could we have some more? And then sign a contract to please don't leave halfway through the fucking season.
Don't leave me like my ex.
Don't leave me like my ex. Ex being Shaft.
Yeah.
It's like, who's Shaft? I don't want to talk about it.
I won't even look at my dick anymore.
She's dead to me. But yeah, I guess other than that, one thing I will say, I guess, because there's a couple of big just gags or funny moments here and there. Concho jumping headfirst and shit. Our thoughts on it. What the fuck? Naked in shit? Really? You couldn't have done anything else?
He could have just ran away.
Could have fucking ran away. Did you have to jump naked and shit?
I would think that a person that is in his mid-20s could outrun the divorced husband.
Yeah, dude's in shape.
Yeah, like you got muscles everywhere. I think you could just outrun him. I don't think you need to dip yourself in shit, because if that plan didn't work, you would have been shitty, stinky. First of all, I don't know how you didn't die straight up. You should have just suffocated, which would have been unfortunate because you're choking on poop. Oh God.
I couldn't imagine a worse way to die. Oh, it's like, how'd he drown? Oh, well, how'd he die? He drowned. Oh, he drowned in the water, ocean, pool? No, he drowned in shit. God. Human feces. Oh, that's disgusting. And then came out all pixelated and shit. Just all pixelated. And I remember Angie, she was just like, you're not coming anywhere near me until you shower or bathe.
Yeah, he would have never came anywhere near me until he had like 5 days of straight baths.
Yeah, It's like, see that river flowing where that one zombie dude just fell in there? Like, stay in there for months.
Oh,
Never
God.
come out.
just meditate in there for a couple of days.
Right. Wait till the skin freaking dies off and to where the smell's gone. Oh, yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, this is tour de force when it comes to this. Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. It's part of the course when it comes to this series.
Mm-hmm.
They always got to do something wacky and insane.
Yeah,
and that was their wacky and insane moment in that episode. So I was like, okay,
that would have killed C if you seen it.
Oh my God, you kidding me? C would have been like, why are we watching this? What do you mean? This is. What do you mean this is a show?
He dipped himself in shit, EA.
Yeah. I could hear him say that. EA, you're giving this a pass? He dipped himself in shit. Where are the authorities?
Oh my God. Couldn't blame him.
See, yeah, I wouldn't blame him either. I just felt like it was just very, it is what it is. But, I guess, do you have any other things that you want to discuss before we do our final thoughts or whatever?
I mean, really, because there was more in the episodes, but we don't have to like recap literally everything. Basically,
not really.
By the end of it, because we beat the main villains, escape. Mr. Kumano comes in, the guy who built the treehouse.
I totally forgot about him.
Yeah. And he saves them and then comes back to the village to build it back up. So they're in good hands, yada yada. Happy ending with the village, and we got our farewells and whatnot, and everybody's back on the road. So it's just them looking for a cure this time. So this time at least there's something consistent with the plot and looking for the cure. I still think the series is going to have its nonsense and its like kind of episodic vibes going on, like, you know, just weird things happening. But now there is something that Tendo's actually working towards in the long run, which is again finding the cure. So the show has that going for it. But yeah. I'm just happy that things were able to conclude, in all honesty. Yeah,
same. I seriously thought I was going to hate these last 3 episodes, especially after the cliffhanger that we left off on in the summer. I was pleasantly surprised. It wasn't the best, but I didn't hate it either. So I definitely feel as if overall the series, if I was to rate it, like maybe a 6.5 or 7. Like, to be honest, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it because there were definitely moments where I was just like, okay. And the reason why I would even rank it that high, maybe even a little higher, is just because I think if the series didn't have such an epic beginning and those messages and kind of like what made the series unique from every other zombie show ever made, it would probably be maybe a 4. Like just an average run-of-the-mill anime that you would forget about in like months and then never see it again. But I think this series is a little better because of the story. Maybe not the story writing or telling, but more of the morals, I think, is what makes it better. And I tend to agree with it. You know, live your life in the moment. Don't wait till it's the end of the world before you start living.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much it. The show survived the 10-year of KOA. Thanks in part to its release and, I guess, lack thereof, but it made it.
They knew that we were watching it, and they're like, we got to find a way to drag this out. we gotta delay this show and release all 3 all at once so that they can't kill it midway. Yep.
Very strategic move. Good on these guys. But yeah, I mean, I'm still glad that glad that I watched it. It was a unique show. I never saw the premise of a zombie apocalypse be taken in this light. So I think off of that alone, this show has a lot of merit because it's easy just kind of just to follow a formula that's been tried and proven with other shows. Because we've seen like Last of Us shows like that where you kind of just go this route of this heart-wrenching story of trying to survive and watching society crumble and people's own morals and ethics going alongside with trying to survive rather than being true to themselves. But I think this show is more so about being true to yourself in a fullest sense, in a truest sense, despite it being a zombie apocalypse, and actually using a zombie apocalypse to be more of who you may have suppressed yourself as to be, whether that's to fit in with society and whatnot. So I thought the premise very great. I thought the execution at times was a little and it hit a rough patch, but all in all, I thought this was a good idea for a show. So happy with it.
Yeah. And to be honest, if this is the ending the show has, pretty solid ending. You know, if they choose to never make another season again, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. The Crypto Store said Mushoku Tensei and Zan 100 both knew the format of KOA. Yeah. And Mushoku Tensei thing where it had his worst episode after we passed it was so on brand.
That was
Jesus
hilarious.
Christ.
I was like, guys, we gotta kill it. No. Probably get better. Just man, just relax. And then all of a sudden, groping episode came, and we were like, no, we gotta suffer through this now.
Oh man. Oh, all right. Time to talk about what is the thumbnail. What is the show that everybody's waiting for? Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 22. I have already experienced all of this, so it is EA who is the fresh eyes on this. So, EA, how did you feel about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 22? A lot of twos in there.
Yeah, a lot of twos. Oh. What the actual fuck? I spent this whole time thinking, and I'm going to talk about it first, thinking that Mei was fighting Ghetto and all this other shit, only for her to be naked in a bed with her own brother. Why? I have no idea. It doesn't really, and if it did explain it, I think I was disgusted when I was watching it. That's why I was like, why is she in bed? I mean, I know that she likes her brother, but what the fuck? Jesus Christ. That was really fucking annoying. I guess what the fuck did you, I mean, okay, they said that they were fighting and that they barely got out of there. I don't even think they were fighting. I just think the second they saw Ghetto, they said, you know what, let's go back to the hotel and fuck. You know, who cares about this shit? You know, it just really, I don't think they fought. I really think that they just said, well, time to start sucking each other off. You know, just do what normal people do. And apparently she's got a little hen in the stock market, and now she's gonna move out. So that tells me that she probably, well, no, not probably. She's gonna fucking leave Japan because I don't know, just doesn't care about being a sorcerer anymore. I really don't understand her MO other than she's just looking out for herself. Oh, and her brother, Wee Wee, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Wee wee.
Ooh, he's doing something to the Wee Wee. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. Something else happened this episode that I kind of really don't like when not just anime but shows in general do this fucking thing where you have this villain that killed a bunch of people, and the minute that this person's about to die, the other villain kills them instead. And I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's fucking dead. I mean, he fucking turned him into a gumdrop and ate him, you know? I don't think...
He turned him into a jawbreaker.
Literally, Ed, and Eddie just ate it. And then, I guess, got really strong or whatever. But it just... I'm like, really? That's how Mahito dies? Is he gets turned into a gumdrop or a gumball or gobstop? I don't know. I really wish. I love nothing more than to see when villains get their comeuppance and just to see them get absolutely just destroyed. Now I understand that there's villains that maybe they get away, and some movies and films like to do stuff with that or do like a unique twist with the villain. But if it's a villain that has it coming, especially after they killed so many heartfelt characters and everything, you know what's coming. And then when it happens, you're just, yeah. Freaking some of the best deaths come because of that. But I always hate when they do stuff like that. And it happened, you know, when Vegeta killed Nappa. It happened in this episode. It happened in a couple of other ones. But it's just annoying. Just a little. I'm like, really? Mahito, that's it? Yeah. That's his major death, and he's considered like one of the big villains in JJK. I mean, he's definitely a good villain, but he's got a shit death. That's how he fucking dies. Just annoying. But no more of the Mei fucky fuck shit.
Fucky fuck.
Oh god, I just.
Oh man!
I was this, you know, cartoon is my jaw. I had to pick it up off the ground. You know, I had to roll it back up and just staple it onto my chin because I could not believe what I was seeing. It was literally just like, really? They weren't fighting this whole time. They were fucking.
That's somebody's favorite MILF, not mine though. So
just a terrible person.
So I want to talk. I'm going to talk about that specifically, but first, Decrepit Storm says, "Is this what Yuri dreams of?" I would not be surprised. QRW6 says Mahito became fake Geto's Uzumaki technique, and Decrepit Storm said, "Geto said curse tastes like dirty rat, so imagine what Mahito tastes like. He's going to taste like shit." Goodbye, Mahito. You would not be missed. I kind of missed the guy. He was fun. He was a fun villain. I guess I'll talk about it now. Okay. I'm not really a fan of how he went out either. It's not because Geto killed him. It's just, it's not the concept of the villain killing him. It's the concept, or it's just the fact that how he dies. He just he goes, "Hey, you want me to help you? Psych." And that's the end of it. And I'm just like, okay. It's anticlimactic. That's all it is for me. It's just all right.
Very anticlimactic.
Whereas before we have the whole thing of Yuji walking them down, the wolf hunted down the rabbit, the predator and prey, symbolic, cool. I think you could have just let Yuji kill the guy outright if you wanted to.
Absolutely, he's earned it. He fucking earned it. I swear, Gege is just. It's almost like he's trying too much now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's trying way too much. Oh, shocking death. Oh, shocking villain. A swirly gumball. It's just all these different shocking things.
Yeah, I think, and I've said this before, I think he's really obsessed with plot twists. He's really obsessed with subverting expectations. And this one is, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I don't think this thing is that egregious, but I think it would have been better for Yuji to kill Mahito because you could still get impact in this scene if you do it. If you were to do it this way, Yuji kills Mahito. He's exhausted himself at this point, himself. And then you have Geto come in here fresh. That would have gave you a true sense of despair. Like whatever you thought you got with Mahito absorbent or Geto absorbent Mahito, you could have did in a different way and made it more satisfying with us or with Yuji killing Mahito. Like, you know, Yuji has a sense of relief because he's avenged Nami and Nobara. He's on cloud 9, but he's like, all right, I got to take a break. Hey, and then he thinks to himself, oh, I wonder what happened with Mei Mei and Geto. And then he shows up. Right. That would have gave you a same thing that you were kind of going for with the impact of that scene, but better not only for Mahito's send off, but I think for Geto's introduction too. Because when he goes, hey, do you want me to help you? I don't know how. I'm not going to claim that I knew what was going to happen in the manga, but I just didn't think it was something good that was going to happen. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect him to just go, hey, I'm gonna protect my friend Mahito. I wasn't expecting that.
my buddy, my pal. Oh, I love Mahito. Yeah. I thought he was gonna like heal him or something, but then he just absorbed him. I'm like,
yeah,
fucking Majin Buu. Yeah, he was like Majin Buu. He turned him into candy. He turned him into candy. But to go off of the whole how he just loves shocking twists and everything, it's like, I'm all for that. But when you do it too many times, you kind of lose sight of the story itself, and you just rely on these twists. And then it comes to a point where you just become M. Night Shyamalan, where okay, what's the twist going to be now? He's made all these movies. He's made The Sixth Sense. He's made, Signs, Unbreakable. What's the twist going to be now? And it's just, you come to expect it.
Yeah.
But instead, I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like Yuji deserved that kill. Wholeheartedly, after everything that he's been through. And I think it would have been better that way, just the exhaustion, and then Geto comes in fresh. Oh my god, it's the same impact. You lose it when it comes to whatever the fuck they did in here, because a whole bunch of shit just happened in this episode, and I was just like, okay, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, because another thing with Gege is, because it's not just exactly subverting expectations. It's in a very specific way. It's always kind of, he likes to shit on the protagonist in a way, or the quote unquote good guys in this sense. And this is not focusing on Yuji. This example is now going to move to Mei and Ui. So whereas a character like Nanami, who sacrificed himself, protected a lot of people, by all accounts is a good person. We knew his dream was he wanted to go to Malaysia, chill out, and just, be free. A character who is that kind ends up dying the cruel death he did.
Yep.
And then you have a character like Mei and Ui who selfish, basically abandoned Japan, abandoned their responsibilities as sorcerers when everybody needed them most. They just get to chill out and leave unharmed. There's like no scars or anything. So that's like the cruel sense of the world that Gege tries to establish. And I don't really have an issue with that. It's just that I think he does it in a way that it always has to be a twist to show the instill that mindset. It happened with Nobara. It's kind of like, oh, this is what sorcery really is. Anyone can die anytime. And then it goes with what we saw in these two episodes, this episode with Mei surviving, being unharmed, kind of just chilling out, taking vacation trips, selling stocks, all this stuff. And then with Yuji kind of being denied of the alleviation of avenging Nobara and Nanami. Yeah, it's just a little frustrating to me. I don't think it's bad per se. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
I feel like, and I know people are probably going to hate me for saying this, I feel like season 1 was better than season 2.
Ooh, that might be a hot take. That is a hot take. That's a hot take.
That's a hot take. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like we were getting something with season 1, and we had a story and everything was flowing the way that it did. And you still had the twists with Junpei dying. Like, everything was kind of well done in a way where everything just seemed, I don't know, it just didn't seem like it was just shocking just to be shocking. I honestly feel like this season is shocking just to be shocking. And I don't like stuff that's like that. And I definitely agree with everything that you're saying, where it's just the whole, you can have a sick, twisted world. And Game of Thrones, I always bring it up. Mm-hmm. That's one where the heroes are always pitted against the villains, and the villains always fucking win. But it's just, I feel like Game of Thrones they always did it better. Up until a certain point, don't get me wrong. But I feel like they always did it better in a way to where you just have that feeling where you root for the good guys, even though you know it's futile and you know that it's not going to amount to anything because eventually the bad guys will win. Mm-hmm. I feel like when it comes to JJK Season 2, you had that, and then you lost it once Nanami died, once more characters died, once Nobara died, and maybe this is me being salty because Nobara died. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I still, to this day, feel like that was just a pointless death, and it should have happened way later. Or if you were going to have it there, you should have fleshed her character out more. And I know this whole thumbnail's about how female characters are in this damn show. Yeah. If Nobara's the only best character in this series and you fucking killed her off just like that, now there's nobody to root for. You have these women characters that... I mean, you saw what happened. I'm on a broom. I'm going to use my super special sword attack. Pink. Ta-da. The end.
Okay. Let me read some of the chat before I really go into that whole thing, because I mean that's the thumbnail, that's the title, so I think we should give that topic more attention, talking about JJK and its female characters and what we think about them. Sababu in the chat, what is good, Sababu? The Meme scene was dog shit, and having to argue with people defending it is even worse. JJK has always been a punch, kick show to me. I simply like this season better because of animation during the fights in the States. However, character development is very lacking in this arc. The hidden inventory arc, however, was very good and probably the most character development JJK characters got. And Gojo / Geto aren't even the main characters. I think my favorite arc in JJK, because everybody, or I would say a majority of people's favorite arc in JJK is this current one, the Shibuya incident arc. But my favorite arc to this day is still the Tokyo versus Kyoto school like tournament thing in season 1.
That was really good.
Yeah, that's still my favorite arc. You just get all those characters. It's really for Toto especially, but like you just got like a lot of the fun loving moments in that episode. Like a lot of the comedy was still prevalent in there, because that's when you get the whole thing of Toto saying What's your type? I like tall girls with a big ass.
Big ass. Yep.
And I don't know, man. I've always been a person that kind of leans more towards liking lighthearted stuff. Anyways, so maybe that's just the bias on my part. But not only did you get moments like that, you had cool fights too, because we got the whole Todo and Yuji versus Hanami fight, which I thought was very good. And even Gojo coming in at the end and sealing everything just established his standing in that series. And I don't know, it was a lot of good things that we got in that arc.
I agree. It's just so weird because I remember it was both you and C telling me that JJK fans say that this Shibuya incident arc, this is the arc that everyone talks about. I was so hyped up for it and everything. And the only thing I can possibly think of, to be honest, is that the only reason people like it is because main characters die. And I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Some of the animation this season, even though everything that we heard from the Mappa Studios was shit, is incredible. It's like some of the greatest animation this season for sure that I've seen. Like, these fight scenes are amazing.
Yeah, the Sukuna versus Mahoraga fight was insane.
That was probably the best fight this whole series, I don't know. I definitely feel like the action was great, and I definitely hear what you're saying there, Sababu, where the series is essentially just a beat 'em up type shonen, and I can definitely see that, but at the same time, I don't know. I felt like season 1 kind of established it to being a little different. So then when you get to this point in the series, it just feels like they're literally pulling the rug from underneath you, and it just doesn't feel like the same show anymore. And maybe that's the point. C told me not to get attached to any characters, and fine, sure. I know better. I won't care about certain main characters here from here on out, but it's just, I don't know. I kind of just feel a little different about this series now, and it's not in a good way.
Well, Decrepit Storm says, I came across C and EA's podcast on JJK Season 1 again a while ago, and they were talking about how good they thought the female characters were, how times changed. So let's get into that. Because again, the topic that I put in the title and I alluded to in the thumbnail was JJK's female characters and how bad are they really? All right. First, I think we should talk about that narrative that was spun when JJK first started, because the Decrepit Storm said UNC talked about it, and I didn't watch y'all podcast when y'all was talk about season 1, because at that point I didn't read, watch, or do anything related to JJK.
You swore off it.
Yeah. But it's something that I saw on Twitter a lot of times, where people said that JJK's female cast was very good, and it was refreshing. And for full transparency, when people say this, even if they don't explicitly say it, they mean, when they say their female cast is very good, they mean it in the sense of battle shonen. So it's always put in that category, because for me, if you're talking about across any anime, any manga, I don't care what this season did. If like season 1 JJK female characters, they pale in comparison so far if you put them outside the scope of battle shonen. Like, there's so many like Fruits Basket, for example, like, and it doesn't even go as far as just the female characters. The cast in general just is way better with their characters than JJK's female characters would be. So it's always, again, looked in the lens of battle shonen. JJK compared to like Naruto or One Piece or Bleach, like any battle shonen type of series like that, Soul Eater, whatever you may bring up. So when they hype up the female characters, it's in that light. So before we talk about the bad or anything, I just want to get a establishment of why we would think that the female characters were good at some point. Like, what made the female what made you look at the female characters in a good light?
Well, for me personally, I just feel as if that the characters were they had a personality that wasn't the traditional female protag, I guess, where, and we've discussed this to ad nauseum, where it's just, you know, they're not all lovey-dovey with the main character. They can hold their own in a fight. They don't need help from the main character. Because let's just face it, there are those series that will always have these females that have their certain way of fighting, but then there's some that can't fight, and then they're just, if they try to fight a certain way, then it's just like they always need to have someone to help them, whoever that is. That's why I felt Nobara was such a cool character, because of the fact that she could do her own thing, but also find a way to also inflict damage to help with Yuji, just like with the whole, just the nail and hammer thing, what she did to Mahito before she died. Like, that stuff was just really neat to me. And I don't know, I just feel like also she didn't wear the typical kinds of the outfits or clothes. Like,
devoid of fan service.
Right, devoid of fan service. Any anime you've ever seen, there's always girls with fan service. And you could name anything. Kill la Kill's a special one because it's supposed to be that way. That's the whole theme of the show. But always in everything, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just liked how it was different when it came to that. It wasn't the typical thing that you would always see. And then they kill off the best character. So for me personally, it's just the fact that it was different than the norm, so to speak. That's why I liked it. You know, it wasn't the traditional shonen protags that you would usually see that were the female. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go a step further and kind of get into the psyche of other people, because I'm in a different like type of position with this since I got into JJK late. So I'm kind of guessing why people would have hyped up the JJK's female cast. Not only is and I'm adding on to what EA said, because I agree. I think part of it is because of people's disillusion with battle shonen's female cast. So they see, like, for example, and I don't want to shit on Naruto or whatever, but like, let's use Naruto as an example, because for the most part, nobody really likes the female cast. Nobody really likes Sakura. Like, actually, no, let me change that. A lot of people like Sakura, but a lot of people hate Sakura. So it has a controversial character like that. To me, Tsunade is the best, but even people don't like Tsunade. And then outside of them, you have Mei, the Mizukage, and then mostly all the other female characters are kind of irrelevant or not focused on at all, like Tamari. And that's kind of the case with a lot of other battle shonen. I think One Piece is a little better about that. But going back to JJK, so I think in part it's because of people, again, being disillusioned with battle shonen's female cast, and also JJK gave them hope because a lot of the female characters could hang with their male counterparts. What I mean by this is you have a character like Maki, for example, who has no curse energy and had good showcases, like in the Tokyo and Kyoto school festival thing, where she destroys Miwa. Did she take care of Momo too? No, I don't think she took care of Momo. But took care of Mai. Like, she was holding her own throughout that entire arc. Fended off Hanami for a little bit before giving her curse tools to Toto, or Megami Stash, the curse tools. So you had her. You had Nobara, who was able to, do the tag team against the curse wounds along with Yuji. So you had that. Again, Nobara being able to hang with Mahito's clone for a bit. Mei, who had a good showcase against the curse spirit that we saw in the Shibuya arc. So, and then what we got at the end of this episode, Yuki showing back up, and we don't know how strong Yuki is at this point. But considering that she showed up, you would expect her to have some level of strength.
Her line was so stupid. She walks in after everyone fucking's dead. Yeah, does that, the kiss, and goes, "Oh, Ghetto, you never answered my question, Tiki. Do you love you have damn?
What kind of girls are you into? The dead kind.
Yeah, I love the dead kind, the corpses. What the fuck? Why are you asking that question? Oh, that was just, I don't know. That pissed me off, to be honest.
Let me read more before I speak more about it. I feel like the bar for showing female characters is in hell. In season 1, even I genuinely believe JJK had the best female characters in shonen. This is mostly because in every other shonen, female characters are defined by who they have a crush on / are dating. I'll go a step further too, and I'll add on to that, and I think it's because they're mostly utilized as, I won't say mostly, a lot of times utilized as damsels in distress, characters that they need to save, and they're shown as weak. And it's not being weak isn't inherently linked to you being a bad character. But when you're in a battle shonen series and where conflicts are solved through fights, being weak is a sin. When you're weak in a battle shonen series, although you can still be a good character depending on how you're utilized, but if you're weak in a battle shonen series and you're kind of useless, then yeah, you might be a bad character because they have really no use for you since the conflict are always resolved through fighting. Now, if you have a series like Fruits Basket, for example, Toru can't box. Toru sucks at swimming. She can't walk. She has to swim with her head face down. She sucks at a lot of things. But like the thing that makes her character so great is she's able to relate to people and kind of be like a therapist to everybody in a way. Like she's damn near everybody's mom. But that's a different type of series, and the conflicts aren't always resolved through fighting. So that's why, even though she can't fight or anything like that, still a great character because of the premise and how she's utilized. In JJK or other Battle Shonen series, again, your characters, your female characters, there shouldn't be a bit discrepancy between your female characters and their combat ability versus the male characters and their combat ability. I think JJK gave us a sense of balance when it came to the female characters and their combat capability and the male counterparts. So that gave people a lot of hope when it came to their characters, because Nobara, even though she is not on the same level as Yuki in terms of strength, she had a lot of potential. Mei, super strong. You can argue maybe even stronger than Nanami. You can argue that. Maki, super strong, lots of potential. So yeah, you have those type of characters, and you can see why people would fall for the okidoke that these are good characters. But here's the thing: fighting or being good in terms of strength or being strong in a sense doesn't make you a good character. Gege doesn't focus on his female characters. And that's the issue. He doesn't focus on a lot of characters in general, but especially the female characters. And what we saw with Momo, Miwa, and Mai, them being useless isn't why they're bad characters. It's just that these characters don't have much of any focus on there. They come in here, do nothing, and that's kind of the end of it.
Yeah.
it just makes us think, what is the purpose of these characters? That's the issue.
They essentially become Dragon Ball side characters, to be honest. You know, when it focuses only on Goku, Vegeta, and them. Just those two. Everyone else is Krillin and Yamcha. It kind of makes it to where it's like, and yeah, you don't have to have strength or whatever, but it's just like, if the stakes are raised this high and so many people have died this fast, it almost seems like these characters' existence of even being there, like, you're gonna have to like boost them up the next couple of chapters if I don't know, because I would assume after this everything else gets even harder. So now we have characters that are useless, and now they're never going to be anything else other than that. You know, Gege kind of wrote himself into a wall, so to speak, where it's like, yeah, he focused on one thing, which was the twists and the villains and everything, but then by doing that, he took away what made the characters, female or male, good to begin with, because it's just now there's all this focus on other things, and I still don't know what's going on in this series. I know that Chozo thinks Yuji's his brother. There's Yuki wanting to see what kind of fucking Geto is into. What's gonna happen now? This is the last episode. Next week?
Next week is the last episode.
This week? Yeah. Oh, it's. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen now, because now it just seems like maybe Yuki's gonna do something. I would assume, because she's considered very strong, but we've never seen her fight, so it almost seems like it's gonna be a fan servicey fighting, and the animation's probably gonna look great. Animation was good this episode too, with Chozo and Geto. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I just feel that we've gotten to a certain point where it's just like, we have our characters, they're either alive or dead, we don't fucking know. We have these group of characters that, hey, if you like them in the first season, they're totally useless throughout the series.
So Dad, when do I get to see Nobara be cool? That's the best part, son. You don't.
You don't. You don't. I mean, she was only written to be one of the coolest female protagonists in any shonen, but hey, you know what? Gege wanted to troll us, and he wanted to be like, second episode or third episode that introduced Nobara, now she's fucking dead. This guy's nothing but a troll. And I don't have a problem with saying that, because it sounds like it doesn't get any better as it goes on, because according to C and you, or whoever said it, I can't remember, some other characters end up getting axed off and he doesn't care who he kills. And it's just like, well then, I don't know, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me read some of the comments. And Nobara specifically is super cool. She likes to be girly. She also likes to be a tomboy. She can take care of herself, and there's no fan service with her. She's just a badass. Tsunade delayed.
I'm sorry. That is why I really liked Nobara. She could have her girly feminine side, but also be a tomboy and badass at the same time. That's way to go, Sababu. Sorry, continue.
Tsunade delayed the search and capture of Sasuke. Was a complaint people had on her and Shippuden. I have a lot of things I love about Tsunade, and I think she gets a bad rep as Hokage. I won't really get into that whole thing, but she is my favorite Hokage, and I like a majority of Hokages. The only one I really dislike is the third Hokage. So that's high praise. She's one of my favorite characters in Naruto in general. Outside of Shikamaru, I think she's my second or third favorite character. In season 2, making the entire Kyoto school useless outside of the guys, Todo and Mekamaru, is definitely a choice.
Yeah.
Toru can move the earth by making cliffs fall when she's on them. Gojo being sealed open. Gojo being sealed open the spot for everyone to step up. Yeah, definitely. Also, Kusakabe is such an asshole. Sure, you can see his point, but imagine doing nothing the whole time, but they're calling for someone who fought hard to be executed. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really focused on everything there is about this episode, but Kusakabe was a focus because he's the one that witnessed all the things that Sukuna has done, and seeing him doing it in Yuji's body is a surreal experience. So where people, because you remember the Kyoto group wanted to kill Yuji as well. Todo actually stopped them from doing it, because Todo, well, he didn't stop. Well, he eventually stopped them from doing it. Before they all tried to gang up on him. They were like, yeah, we're going to form this plan, and whenever things start, we'll all jump Yuji and kill him. Because he, that's what the higher ups wanted, basically. And then Todo said, leave me out of this. I want to watch my idol girl. Shut up. But yeah, Kusakabe's position isn't really surprising, considering he witnessed firsthand what Sukuna was capable of. If they think that's how Sukuna would die, I don't really have an issue with it, honestly. But I understand your point of him like being lazy and not doing anything the whole time. He kind of reminds me of Yajirobe.
Oh,
Dragon Ball Z Yajirobe, because Dragon Ball Yajirobe, he still was lazy, but he still did some things. You know what I mean? But
Yajirobe and Z had one of the most epic parts where he cut off Vegeta's tail.
Yeah,
and then he ran away that was his peak.
Yep,
he did that. And then didn't do anything else after that.
I'm not mad at that, because I mean, things went way outside of his realm. The only thing I'm mad at is that characters like Krillin, for example, kept, even though he didn't really have any big moment, really, I'm still mad at the fact that characters like him and Tien train. Well, not Tien. Oh, they did Tien bad.
They did him dirty.
Yeah, a character like Krillin kept going up in power despite characters who were formerly way stronger than him, that being Yajirobe, Tien, not being elevated to the same heights in terms of their training and power level, because that was always weird to me. But that's for a different thing. So yeah, female characters, I'll say for me, like my whole main point with Jujutsu Kaisen, are they like terrible? No, I don't think they're terrible, but I definitely think they were overrated at one point. That I can say with certainty, because when I look, even when you put it in the, because I said this on Twitter as well, even when you put
got
them,
a lot of likes on that one.
I had to mute that. So like I don't know where it went, but I muted that eventually.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, he blew up with this tweet.
I don't know. Sometimes I just tweet and stuff like that happens, and like I said, once it got to a certain point, I think maybe when it got like 40 likes, I was like, all right, I'm muting this. I'm tired of seeing this. I kept getting notifications. I was like, all right, I'm tired. It's probably people that's arguing with me and like quote tweeting me, and I have not seen anything. But even when you put it in the lens of just battle shonen series, I still think there are other series that has treated their female cast better, and you can agree, disagree, whatever it may be. I think Attack on Titan is one of those series.
That's a good one.
That's something that someone I did see someone argue with me on. They're like, the only good female character was Gabby. I'm actually surprised that they said Gabby out of all characters. That actually shook me. I was like,
that is surprising.
Yeah.
Out of all characters, Gabby.
Yeah, I'm surprised they said Gabby of all of them. I mean, Gabby is my favorite female character in Attack on Titan, but I was like, wow, you might be closer to me than you think. But I mean, you have Historia, even though she only really had one arc of that. people may disagree. I don't think Mikasa is bad at all. I don't think she's the greatest ever. I think she's pretty solid for what her role in the story is.
Mm-hmm.
Hanji's, her gender is kind of ambiguous, but I think in the anime, I just call her a female character. What's the other? Ymir, I think, is very good too. And I mean Freckles Ymir, not Ymir, god, woman, lady, slave, no eyes. But yeah, characters like that. Sasha. And again, the cast I don't think is great, but I think is better than JJK, and I think is pretty solid all around. But yeah, you have that cast. You have Full Metal Alchemist, and it's especially this series, Claymore. Claymore's cast is predominantly female, and there are a lot of great characters in it. There are probably like the male characters in that series you could probably count on your hands, and they're just, the female characters are just great. All the characters are really great in there, but yeah. So I still think there are other examples of battle shonen series that are better than JJK. So even if you want to put it in a light of, well, it's better than what we get most of the time, I guess. But just because the bar is low, I don't think that means that these characters this cast is good. And that's really my bottom line.
QRW6 is asking, Bleach Girls, question mark?
Bleach Girls. I think Bleach has sort of the same issue with JJK. And Gege takes cues from Kubo. So Gege is inspired by Kubo. I don't think the Bleach Girls are bad in any sense of the light, but I just think they don't get enough focus for me to say they're good. Like Yoruichi and Soifon and that story they have together is very intriguing, and I like it. But all you get is that one arc of it, and then that's it. And then Yoruichi doesn't really do anything after that. Anything like worth mentioning. Like, sure, she helps and supports here and there, but you don't really get much of her in terms of character writing. And yeah, you got I mean, Bleach is decent. Bleach is pretty decent because Rukia, I think, is a good character. Orihime, even though I don't personally like her myself, I think she's decent. And then what other character would you throw in there? Oh, my baby mama, Reitsu Unohana. That's my woman. I will never say anything bad about her. That's my woman. So, hey. Kubo told Gege to make some of the girls more appealing. Yeah, he said where the booty at?
Where are the boobs?
Yeah,
the giant ones.
Yeah, because Gege doesn't have fan service. We told you, EA, me and C, that he doesn't do it because his parents. Gege,
that's crazy. It's like he won't draw boobs or anything indecent, which kind of makes the female characters cooler in that way. But he certainly won't draw them or develop them well.
The Pistons set the NBA records for the most losses in a row. 27 straight L's.
Way to go!
Good job. Blow this team. Monty Williams, get the hell up out of there.
Oh. Maybe it was him. No, I'm kidding. I miss Monty Williams, but I mean, to be on that team, and for he's a jolly good fellow.
They only lost by 6 points too. My God.
Oh man, was it in Detroit? I bet people were cheering, going, "No, don't win! We want to set the record."
Yeah, like the Browns fans when they went 0-16 and they had the parade. That was so hilarious.
I mean, hey. I mean, you gotta make do with what you got, right?
It's history.
But is that it for JJK? I know there was probably some other stuff we're missing, but I'm cool if we want to skip.
I mean, yeah, this Kyoto group is just, and I think that lends back into the main thing that we're saying with the subverted expectations. We've seen this before where a villain is super strong and then everybody, they throw like the kitchen sink and everything at them and it doesn't do anything. I think it just, if you wanted to emphasize that Geto is strong, cool. But why make Kyoto looks that bad? Like that bad, you know, to the point where Miwa literally has a 1 minute monologue about how much she's trained, and then she swings her sword, and then he goes. It doesn't even hype you up because you didn't focus on these characters for us to think they're strong, anyways.
The flex.
Yeah. Like for example, and I swear to God, this is why Gege is a thief, and he owes Kubo money. Because you know what moment he tried to replicate with that moment specifically?
Oh, I think I know which one. Maybe. Which one?
You can go ahead and guess if you want to.
Is it the one? No, I'm thinking of a different one.
No, you might have it. You might have it.
All right. Is he blocking with his fingers? The sword or whatever?
Yeah. Soul Society art.
Okay.
Kaisen.
Well then, there you go. I was right.
Yeah. Ichigo has his Bankai. Previously, he was able to beat Byakuya with it. So, who was a captain level. So you're thinking in your mind, okay, he has his Bankai out. He should be able to do something to Aizen, even if he's not able to beat him. Aizen, the music turns on. Number one.
With a finger.
And then the music stops. You know why that's hype? Because we previously saw him beat a captain. And you literally had the music to kind of amp up that moment. And then he just shits on Ichigo.
Yep.
That's cool.
Record scratch.
Yeah. It's not cool when you have this is the equivalent if it was in Bleach. That's like having, who do I want to throw in here? Chad. That's like having Chad come in there. We just saw him lose against Kiraku, Shonsui Kiraku. We just seen him lose that battle, and then he goes, Aizen, I do this for my abuelo. And then Aizen goes,
he does say that a lot.
Like, it has no impact. These characters didn't do anything for us to believe that they had a shot in hell with Geto. I wouldn't even pick them to have a shot against Blondie.
Right. Dude, the fucking Miwa power-up scene, I didn't think for 1 millisecond in my mind that she was going to land a finishing blow. I was literally like, this is a wasted animation. What the fuck are you doing? And then all of a sudden, the sword breaks, and I'm just like, I am shocked. Oh my no. The fucking sword broke. No. Pack it in, boys. It's over. We're fucked. Miwa couldn't even get a hit in.
That's like the true sense of despair with the Shibuya art. It's not Gojo getting sealed. It's Miwa not being able to land that blow. That's what I was counting on. It wasn't Gojo. Once that didn't happen, I was like, yeah, we can't beat Geto.
No, that's it. Shibuya's fucked. Miwa couldn't do anything.
Yeah, useless Miwa. Literally useless Miwa, bro.
Oh my fuckity fuck. But Sean says Gege's parents watching the bed scene from this week.
Son?
What the hell? First of all, you're showing a little bit of cleavage right there. Second of all, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, he lost his mind. There was minor slip up, happens to best of us. Besides that, I mean, oh my god, Momo blowing hot air. My shooting a sniper.
I'm gonna get you, Ghetto. Zat, are you gonna give up?
It hurts. Ow.
Oh no, I'm feeling the equivalent of an air dryer against my hair.
It tickles.
Oh.
Last thing I want to say, shout out to Urame. That ice power is super cool. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But can we talk about the next show?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not?
If we must.
All right. So next up on the agenda is Frieren, episode 16, Long Live Friends. Let me actually
Long
change the
live
topic.
friends, long live friends.
Right.
For who is it? It's friends.
Oh, 16. Boom. All right, so what is the vibe with this episode? How do we feel about it?
It's kind of another episode where I feel like all the episodes are like this, but this one in particular, highlighting on all the old friends, and we're introduced to Old Man Vol, who looks exactly the same, and I'm guessing, oh no, he is a Viking, right? That's why he's able to live so long.
But he's a dwarf.
Oh, he is a dwarf. I said Viking. What the fuck? He's not from Vinland Saga. I meant dwarf. It was all right. We got to see a lot more into Sign's background. He had a friend that what was he called?
Guerrilla warrior.
Guerrilla warrior. Guerrilla warfare. Oh, no. This might be where it comes from. But he has memories of him, and he's trying to find him. And I guess it was found out that he went through there not that long ago. And now we're almost at a impasse where Sign might have to... As soon as we got him, he might have to leave. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like he adds a lot to this party, but now he's gonna maybe possibly leave next episode. I'm just like, oh, that kind of stinks. But yeah, overall this was all right. Nothing too. I don't really remember much from this episode, if I'm being honest, other than the fact that there was an old guy, as you have in these notes here. He has Alzheimer's, doesn't really remember anything. And of course, Sign still wants older women to be in the party, but doesn't look at Frieren as older. Just a lolly.
So, the whole Old Man Vol stuff, well, that has its own thing that I'll talk about, but since you already talked about Guerrilla Warrior and that whole thing, specifically what happened at the end of the episode where he has to make a decision on whether to seek Guerrilla Warrior out or continue on with the party. Just because he's already an established member, I definitely think he's going to continue on with the party, but there has to be a reason behind that. Because his whole purpose is finding Guerrilla Warrior and linking back up with him so he can possibly continue his adventure with being a warrior. But I think this is how things are going to shape up to be. Because just as Stark, for example, wants to become a warrior and tell stories back to his old man, Eisen, right? Eisen is his name. I always forget his name.
Lord Eisen.
Yeah, Lord Eisen with the slick back hair and no need for glasses anymore. He wants to bring back stories to him. So I think in the same way, Sign is going to continue on with the party so he can establish himself as somebody who's accomplished some things, just like Guerrilla Warrior. Because you got to think, Guerrilla Warrior has been on these adventures and escapades, helping these people out and doing this and doing that. I think he would feel kind of ashamed to link up with him and tell him how his life has been, and he's just like, well, yeah, I was just kind of hanging out at church. I didn't really want to, but that's what I've been doing all these years. Yeah. So I think he's going to continue with the party, if for nothing else, just so he's able to be proud and kind of stand on equal footing when he sees Guerrilla Warrior again. Because the big thing for him, why he was so afraid to do this in the first place, like seek him out, is because he thought maybe he died. Like that was a lingering fear in his mind. But now that he knows he's alive, at least currently, now it's on him to have faith that he will stay alive through all of this, and that he doesn't need to chase after him for them to link up again. You know, if they both become great warriors or whatever, by the time they retire or by the time they get tired and do something and they both accomplish a lot, they can meet up again. So yeah. I think his whole thing is looking past the immediate need to want to see his friend, and I kind of just appreciate the adventure that he's on now, because I mean, he could try to link up with Guerrilla Warrior and then they go on an adventure, just the two of them, but this is the party that saved him. You know, Frieren, Stark, and Fern, these are the people that saved him. So I think it would mean less, even though he's Guerrilla Warrior saved him in the past. I think it would mean less if he were to adventure with him than this party right now. So the hell is that noise? I think that's where it's gonna go.
Were they coming for you?
I don't know. They might be. I guess we're good right now, though.
Oh, good. But yeah. Hopefully it turns out to be like that. And it's, he realizes, yeah, that was my friend, but this is the essentially the team, the group that saved me, and I will stick with them. It'd be cool just to be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah,
how you been? Just to catch up, shoot the shit. But I hope he stays, because I would hate for them to just establish a character just for them to leave. That would be kind of dumb, but hey, it's their story, I guess. But what I noticed, I think it was throughout this episode, for all the Stark and
Fern.
Oh my god. No! I was gonna find it.
Oh, oops.
Oh, it's too late, no. Yeah. Stark and Fern. For all the shippers out there, I have noticed the little moments here and there where she actually doesn't mind standing next to him. He helped her off of a log when they were crossing a stream and everything. Because before, she wouldn't even allow him to even walk near him, or even let alone touch a hand.
Yeah.
So that right there tells me, oh, they're growing. They're growing, and we might be getting the ship that everybody, the whole internet's been asking for. What do you got, folks? We got the Fern and Stark ship behind door number 1. No.
Yeah.
but yeah, it looks like it might happen. But if it doesn't happen, how pissed would the internet be? How pissed? No, we asked for this ship months ago.
I definitely think they're leaning more towards it as the episodes go on. So yeah, I definitely was wrong about that, because I thought, well, it's not that I didn't think that this was a possibility. It's just that for where we were in the story currently, or at that time, it felt more like a brother-sister relationship than a romantic one. Like, it wasn't what we get now, and how the relationship has developed was definitely not the same whenever this whole thing was mentioned. I don't know what episode it was, but yeah.
I feel like the ballroom changed everything. When they were dancing together, Fred was just like, God damn. He cleans up rather fine. Come here, give me some kiss. No, kid. I don't think it was anything like that. But I definitely think that episode has a huge impact, because maybe she saw him in a different light. Also, Sign making Fern realize, hey, he's a dude. You forgot your damn birthday. Cut him some slack. That episode kind of more leaned towards that ship, so to speak. But what I thought was interesting about the old man was the fact that he lives so long. He's protecting a village because of a wife, I'm assuming, who was human.
Mm-hmm.
So then he outlived her.
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember what she looks like or even a voice. And I found that to be very sad because that's one of those, when nobody's around anymore, maybe some people tend to forget what they sound like, what they look like. But you have pictures, you have recordings and stuff like that. If you live 400 years and you don't have the means to have that stuff around, that would kind of suck. Because then it seems like everything that you're doing, it's like, oh, I'm protecting this place because of the woman I love. Well, it doesn't seem to have any meaning anymore because it's like, I don't even remember what that person looks like. It's like, I knew I loved them at some point. I couldn't tell you what they sounded like or what they looked like. And I love how the anime kind of shaped up that whole scene where she was just kind of like a figure with no face, so to speak. And it was just really interesting how they did that, where it was just like, it stuck with the whole theme because Frieren, she's 1,000 years old. She lives for a long time. And she has these memories that pop up every once in a while. And I guess that just goes to show that when you get to a certain age and you get old, you do, I don't know, I guess it just depends on the person. You would forget, or you try not to forget. That just comes with age. But Frieren, she's got ways to go and she has to remember all that. I couldn't imagine how stressful that would be. She barely remembers spell books. All these years, the 50 years in which she had known Himmel that whole time, she's just slowly remembering bits and pieces like, oh yeah, that did happen. He did ask me to marry him. Oh yeah, he did think of himself as an arrogant boy. Or something, just I don't know, just kind of puts into perspective how short life can be sometimes.
Yeah. Well, with the whole thing of old man Vol like forgetting his wife's face and voice, I have this quote brought up because I remember this quote, but I wanted to make sure I quoted it verbatim. It's a quote from Maya Angelou, and I think it's a very true quote. The quote reads, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Ooh.
And I think that is very true because there's just there's how someone makes you feel is just something that's just ingrained kind of in your soul, in your being. You may forget why you like, say if you hate somebody, you may even forget why you hate them exactly, but you'll remember, I hate this guy. Like that.
Yeah,
it's a strong feeling that doesn't like need a description per se. So I think with old man Vol, like that feeling of love he had for her lingers through everything, even with his mind deteriorating slowly. He still remembers that feeling of love towards her. He just doesn't even, he may not even remember how they met, why he loved her in the first place, but he still remembers he loves her. That's just how strong feelings work, or they tend to work. Kind of glossing over specifics. And yeah, maybe it will tie into Frieren at one point in time, her being 1,000 years plus, maybe her losing her own memories, or maybe her just being afraid of not being able to remember specific things with Himmel. That could be a thing, because she was very apprehensive of the thought of her forgetting him. But you got to remember, he's had this girlfriend that we don't know at what point she died in his life. So this could have been 200 years after the fact. Himmel died because they always use his death as a point of reference in regards to time. Like 27, 28, around that time.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So not to say that's not a long time, but for her, that's not really long. But let it be like 200 years or whatever. Not that I think we're going to go that far in time, because we have Stark and Fern and everybody else that wouldn't make it past that timeline. But
that would be crazy to see if they went that route.
Yeah. But let it be a lot of passage of time, or maybe she has memories that are overwritten, because I think that's another thing too. Frieren's most vivid memories come from that party. Why? It's because that's probably the first time she was experiencing true joy, and she didn't know it at the time. Because really her life is just because, well, besides her being with her master too, Flame, I believe that's her name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Besides those times, like those are the times she's going to remember, because it was times where she was having fun, learning spells and just adventuring. But you know, with this new party and with her being removed from Himmel and all this time, she may begin to forget specific things about him too. So
yeah,
it's a thought. It's a thought of what could happen. Maybe it's a reflection in the mirror.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just a lesson to cherish people.
Oh, absolutely.
As much as you can.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely, I believe that. I feel like that's kind of the main theme of the show, because the first episode we see young Himmel, then we see old Himmel, and then he dies in the same episode, the very first episode, and she's in tears, and it's like she doesn't even know why herself, but we're slowly starting to understand why that is, and it's just an interesting way how they're doing it. So, where they're just slowly drawing it out. And I agree. I think that these were some of the best years of her life, though in her lifetime it was, I don't know, like a month. Like it was just a fun month that she had in Cancun or something. But it was a hell of a fun time, and she ain't ever gonna forget it. So and you always want to keep that in the back of your mind. But yeah, it's a shame, because it's kind of bittersweet in a way. She's gonna, and I think she's starting to notice it. Probably she does notice it, that she had feelings for Himmel, but it's too late now because he's gone. So once she finds her true feelings for him, I mean, she'll always cherish those memories, and maybe she'll just feel as if those were the times that she'll always remember. Because I don't know, maybe somebody like her, she can't ever find love because of the fact that she lives forever. Well, not forever, but for a very long time. So, yeah. Maybe she'll have multiple loves.
That could be a thing. I don't I don't know how it would be for her now. Like, it would be interesting to see her kind of initiate a relationship like that instead of being the one that was pursued, because she's just so, they already mentioned this episode, like all of this whole party is socially awkward, but her especially, her social cues are awful. Like one part in the episode when they're staying at the cabin or whatever, she's like, let's stay here for a decade. And then everybody, all the humans are like,
they're just staring at her. A week, not a decade, a week.
Yeah.
And then she said it again too. She's like, barkeep, we're looking to stay at your inn, fine establishment for a decade. We're staying here for a week. Don't listen to her.
She's saying that like she has the money to stay there for a decade too.
Right? How's she gonna pay that off? You know?
Yeah. But yeah, that's the whole thing with Vol. The other part of the episode we already talked about, Guerrilla Warrior. It's kind of rehashing some of the things that we already seen, because he's the person that got old sign out of his shell. He got him to stop, closing himself off and open up a whole new world for him. And we saw more of that this episode in the mini flashbacks that we got of him. He's a ray of sunshine. And it seems that he's been consistent with who he is and being this super personable guy. Like everybody remembers who he is, not just because of his name, but because he's always like looking out to help people and whatnot. So cool to know that he's still the same person, even if we aren't actively seeing it.
Right.
So
yeah, I was just waiting for him to say, "I'm going to be king of the pirates." He just had such a positive attitude.
Wait, hold on now. Monkey D. Luffy, Gorilla Warrior.
Oh, are they related or are they one and the same?
I don't know. Let's find out. Next episode.
Next episode we'll have to find out. But it kind of left it off on a cliffhanger. So I guess we'll have to just wait and see what happens next. If he's going to depart or go, fuck that guy. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Changes his mind. Like he thinks about it for 1 second. It's like, I know what I said before, but he can wait.
Yeah. We'll see. Let me read the chat before we move on. Decrepit Storm said, I'm definitely not as negative as you guys are on JJK, but it's cool to hear your perspective and quality discussion of female cast. Appreciate you, Decrepit Storm. This episode was great in my opinion. Vinland Saga is still on air, streaming in different languages. Wow.
Oh, nice.
I'm interested to see what sign chooses. That's a good theory as to why he may choose to stay. Frieren so far has been a perfect show for me. The last episode made me tear up when the old man was talking about remember his wife again.
That was sweet.
Yeah. Gay is coming for you guys. I think the Decrepit Storm said that when I heard the noise.
He's got no, Gay, we're sorry. We just have a little criticism, okay?
I just see some guy in some monk clothes just smiling at me. Do you want any help, Satsuki? Midnight is in the chat. Sup, y'all.
Hey,
hope y'all had a happy holiday. I think we both did.
Yeah, I certainly did. I hope everyone out there had one, a good one as well.
I need my pictures for Christmas because, I need my pictures from the wedding that I went to too. People don't like sending me pictures when I ask them to.
You went to a wedding on Christmas?
No, not Christmas. I didn't tell you about the wedding I went to. Like maybe it was December. It was December.
Oh, so it was this month. Nah, I didn't know you.
It was like the first week of December. I sometimes I forget what I say on stream, what I say on Discord, and what I say on Twitter.
No, I understand.
I forget where I say things at.
Were you clean shaved Skotsky? I can't fucking talk. Clean shaven Satsuki and just looking your best?
Let me see, because I have like one picture I could show you that I took myself, but
all right. Let's see this.
Let's see. Hopefully I still have it. Because usually I never take any pictures of myself.
Were you a groomsman?
No, I was not.
Oh, you were just at the wedding. Gotcha. That's still cool, though.
Here's one of the pictures.
All right, let's see this. Oh, look at you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely clean up nice.
Yeah, that. Oh, man. I had to scramble to get all the stuff, too, when I was preparing for it, because I didn't have a suit like 3 days before the wedding, and I had to, and I didn't know where to go exactly because it's been so long since I bought like an actual suit. But I found a place, and I had to get the tailor to fit it for me and all that stuff, and they were able to do it in time. Just in time.
Men's Warehouse.
What was it called? I think it's called K&G Men's Fashion Wear, something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. I still have their
All
business
right.
card somewhere, but yeah.
Or when you get married in the future, right?
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
At least you'll know.
Yeah.
At least you'll have someone to call.
Where am I at? I wasn't feeling the Fern slash Stark relationship either, but they're clearly hinting at it. I love seeing old man Vol's perspective. Cherish those years as much as possible. Frieren is too much of a life lesson. She tried to say a decade again, like she thought they would just accept it this time. Yeah, they're like, we're kind of like 16, 17 years old. I don't think we want to spend 10 years just sitting in the cabin with you, elf lady.
Yeah, that's one of those. Girl, if you're gonna be staying here, I'm leaving. I'll see you in a decade.
Yeah.
When I'm old and we're married and we have kids.
I just like how she just leaves people for decades or years upon years, and then she just tries to meet up with them like nothing happened. Right. I mean, she did that with him already. You would think that she would learn after that, but it happens with Vol again. She's like, hey, it's been a while. Yeah, you mean like 80 years?
Yeah, I'd say it's been a while. And then she was like, you look exactly the same. To be fair, when they showed the flashback, he did.
Yeah. He
was just always an old man or an old dwarf.
Which, now that I think about it, I said that we didn't know when his wife died, but we actually do. Because, well, not totally, but we know that he's been protecting this village, I think she said, for 300 years, something like that. Or his life, no. I think it's been 400 years. Let me look back at my notes.
Damn.
Because I know I wrote that down.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's protected the village for 400 years. If he's protected the village for 400 years, that means he was with his wife 400 years prior.
And his life expectancy is 300, so he's fixing to croak anytime soon. Like at any second, he's just like, I'm ready. Take me, sweet Jesus. Oh, God.
Yeah. And then they said the life expectancy for Doris is 300 years, which I guess also lends into, that lends into why he's so senile at the end of it. You know, because he's lived way past what's expected.
Yeah. I feel like when people go senile or get Alzheimer's and stuff like that, you know, that's just kind of the body still living on while the brain's just ready to go. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, when sometimes when it's time to go, it's time to go. You know, unless they make a cure for something like that, which I haven't heard anything about it, but I would hate to live like that, especially in my later years. Not even know myself. That'd be awful.
It's a sad thing to witness, and it's something that you couldn't even imagine living through. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. How depressing.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about something much more happy and glee?
Is it happy? Is it happy, EA? Because it's over.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well, I guess it's bittersweet. How about that?
It's better to love than lost than to never have loved at all, as they say.
I love Dr. Seuss's quote. Don't be sad because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Very true.
That's one of my favorites, but it's not over. We know it's gonna come back. I mean, the manga's not over, too. Right?
Nope.
Still going. Is there like a lot to where they could make a season 3?
No.
There's not.
No.
Okay.
They could possibly push it, but I think
because they like caught up.
They are like around, and I'm kind of just guessing the number, like around like chapter 60 or something like that. And it's currently like 80 something chapters out, 80 or 90
Oh
chapters out.
dang! So they're that much. Wow, they
They're,
adapted that much.
yeah, they're pretty close to the manga.
Well, could they do another season like this where it's like 12 episodes?
I don't think so.
No.
They maybe depending on the pacing of it. Yeah, we're on chapter
Right.
92 currently, and
they adapted 60. That's crazy.
yeah, because usually anime, like with weekly series, they tend to animate about, the number I usually use is like 34 chapters for a weekly series. But Spy Family is bi-weekly, but it's still like the pages usually run about the length of a weekly series. 34 is usually a number because they tend to animate 4 volumes worth of content. And 34 is like just like a projection of 4 volumes, because usually the first volume or so, because chapter 1 is always long, volume 1 may be like 8 chapters, and then after that every chapter is like 10 or so.
Okay. Well, that makes me sad to think that, well, other than the movie, that we're probably gonna have to wait for Spy Family now, which sad, but at least I'll have the movie to tide me over whenever it decides to come out. But I guess when it comes to this episode, it was mainly a freaking Bond episode. Borf, Mr. Borf.
Yes, sir.
Freaking. This episode was cute and it was funny and it was sweet. Freaking Bond was trying to use his seeing in the future powers for good, but it was being mistaken as other things. Like he thought that I just love how Bond was thinking this way. It's like, if I do good, I'll get praises from from Lloyd and everything.
He's
But
just as delusional as Anya. That's a funny part.
Yeah, it makes sense because dogs are said to have kind of a mind, even though they're smart. They're like, if you were to have a mind of a dog and put it towards something human-wise, it's like a 5-year-old. Like dogs are just as smart as a 5-year-old. So that's an interesting thought to think about. But yeah, so he's got the same mindset where he's just like, oh, I'm gonna get all kinds of praises and get all the steak and food and everything. But he did save some people's lives. He saved the old man from getting in a wreck, and I feel like there was like a lady. Something was gonna happen to her. I can't remember. Oh, the kid. That's what it was. The kid. He still dropped his ice cream though.
Yeah, he got three though.
Yeah, he made out. He got 3, and the kid and his friends were like, "Oh man, I'm so jealous. You got 3 scoops. We didn't get nothing."
I've never liked the thought of having 3 scoops of ice cream like that, because I feel like it would melt all in your hand.
Yeah, I'm more of a eat ice cream in a cup person than I am on a cone. And the only reason is for what you said, it melts and it gets all over your hand and it's sticky. Oh, just put it in a bowl, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care for the cone. I mean,
I like ice cream cones. It's just that I couldn't do what he did, having 3 scoops on top of each other.
Oh hell no!
Just eating it is weird too, because you had to kind of wait, depending on if it's like soft served, like depending on how it's served or whatever. Like let's say if you get ice cream store bought, you kind of have to wait for it to melt or whatever for you to actually eat it, and it's going to melt at the same time. So by the time you get to the bottom, it's going to be all over your hands melted.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I would really have would be those drumsticks that have like the peanuts and dipped in chocolate, and you got the best part at the bottom with the chocolate. Oh,
yeah.
Love drumsticks. That's the only thing I would eat that's on a cone. But other than that, give me the cup.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But yeah, I guess the main thing that happened in this episode was Bond kept getting upset because every time he tried to like save somebody, he remembered, oh, Lloyd's going to yell at me because he doesn't understand. Like he can't read my mind. I love how they kind of delved into that because Anya can read his mind, so she understands what he's trying to say and what he's trying to convey. Lloyd and everyone else for that matter, they don't. So he had to kind of be like, oh man, how do I do this without him being mad at me? But then he saw the fire and saw a puppy was going to get burnt and was going to go, and Lloyd was like, no, you're not going. He just barf. It just established his dominance and just was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's the angry Borf. Borf.
I love how the subtitles are saying Borf now. Not even bark, but just Borf. He borfs.
Yeah.
But yeah, he saved a cute little puppy from dying. He essentially went inside, saved it. He got water thrown on him, which made him look. I've seen dogs that look like that. It's so funny.
Skinny.
They
Worf.
just skinny, and apparently his voice changes. I didn't. It's like I don't think dogs do that. Their voice doesn't change when they get wet. Literally, just sounds like he's a dying dog at that point. Like, that's a dog.
My God,
it's hilarious, but
it even made Lloyd laugh.
Yeah, he tried. Somebody that keeps a straight face the whole time. He's just breaking character. It's like, no, stop it. I don't want to laugh at this dog.
Yeah.
One of the funniest, also other funny part of the episode is the fact that this episode showcases the stupidest arsonist in the world.
The one who wore a hat
that says fire. It says fire right on his head. He came back to the crime and also kept all of his fucking lighter fluid and matches and everything else with him too. Like, if this dude was smart, and if he, let's just say he wanted to come back and see his destruction because he's a sick fuck or whatever, at least put your evidence back wherever you were staying at, like home, hotel, whatever, and wear a different hat. Don't wear a hat that says fire. That makes it very. I mean, unless it's like, no, I'm one of the young kids that says everything's fire, but it means it's cool and awesome.
And you might not want to like laugh evilly while looking at the fire.
Oh fuck! Right? Stupid idiots! You're on fire, burning. But then, before I guess we even get to that part, Bond was using Frankie as a test dummy, biting his arm. Because he was being trained the whole time. It's like, I'll take him for a walk. Walk meaning I'm going to train him to be an attack dog. And he was doing good. He was being a good boy. He was getting his attacks in.
Yeah, and shout out to Frankie too, because just for being like emotionally aware, because he figured that the reason that Bond was kind of dejected from doing any further training is because he was subjected to experimentation. And they kind of treat him like shit. It's just, about results, and he was viewed as a failure. So being chastised in that way is not something that he is it's not something that he likes. Not that any dog would like that, but he's especially sensitive towards it.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. Frankie, he may get shit on a lot, but he comes through when it counts.
Yeah, because that's an area that Lloyd is lacking, or may overlook in that regard, because he's just looking at it like, I got a big dog, got to train him. He listens what I say anyway, so this would be good for him. But he wasn't thinking of how his past would affect his present. So good on Frankie.
Yeah, very good. That then because of that training, because of the arsonist, skipping to that part now, was essentially being a dumbass. Bond went ahead and bit him right on the leg and stopped him, saved the day.
Yep.
And Lloyd was like, "You're supposed to go for the arm, stupid idiot." He's like, "But I'm a good boy." No, he did praise him though when he got home. Didn't he like give him something, like some food?
No.
No. That's what it was. Anya saw what happened through reading the minds and was like, "You were the bestest boy."
Yeah, she gave him the Stellas.
That's right. Gave them both. That was really cute. Oh, and I guess that was a side thing that happened in the episode. Anya was doing origami.
Yeah.
And that was really sweet too.
And
she didn't want to go out. I'm doing origami.
I don't know what she was doing.
She was doing kilogami.
Yeah, kilogami.
She was literally
murdergami.
Oh, even better, murdergami. She did the whole snip, 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 ta-da, and then they all just fell apart. She's so good at killing things. She just doesn't know it.
She is she's a character for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Stella thing was cute, symbolic too, just because Stellas are shown to award hard work or outstanding achievement, and even though Lloyd doesn't understand why Anya would give him that, Anya was able to tell what happened, and that was a good gesture that is only known to really her and Bond, really. There was something else I wanted to say too. Why am I forgetting it? Oh, I thought it was funny when Lloyd was like, "Oh, I appreciate the Stella. I wish you would get a real one though."
With Anya going, "Go,
shot."
Oh, Lloyd. He's such a dick sometimes.
He is. But I mean, it's for the mission.
Exactly. He is a mission man for sure. I always wonder what Anya would be like whenever she gets older. I mean, she's a good liar now. Imagine what she's gonna be like when she's like a teenager.
Oh my god.
She'll become an expert at it. She reads minds. If that power doesn't go away, she would just be like, "Oh, Daddy, I'm staying over at my friend's house," and then like reads his mind or whatever. That's to say, if they stay together that long.
Do you think it will go away at some point in the story?
The power?
The mind reading power, yeah.
That would be crazy if it did, because that's like her character. Not just her character, mind you, but like that's a big component of her. But do I think it would go away? If it did, there would have to be an explanation behind it. Like, for it to just all of a sudden leave would be insane. And then maybe, because we don't really know much about Anya's backstory other than she was an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
And she had parents. Obviously something happened to her, some kind of experiment, but I don't know. Maybe, and if it goes away, that tells you that the experiment was only temporary, and she would have to go back and get the telepathy juice to get it back or something. I don't know.
Just give her a chug jug.
Yeah. Go and she goes into Fortnite. Anya does a 360 no scope. Anya, a victory royale. Yes, I know these things because of my son, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it does, and if it does, I would be shocked. Like, how would you get it back?
Well, I think for the what I think is going to be a thing with the show, because I do think they're going to be a family by the end of it, and this is talking end game of the show, not something that's going to be shown in the immediate future. But for them to be an established family, like a true family, the lies between them have to be exposed. And not only that, but there needs to be a budding trust within them, with these characters again. And I think Anya, having my reading, will always breach that trust, which will prevent them from feeling like a true family. They could still do it in a way because she's a child. Because she's a child, it still works in a way where it's kind of harmless. But I think once she gets like a teenager and she's still able to read minds or whatever, then it starts to feel a little odd, because obviously she could use that for like more like rebellious type of things. Like she's not using her power for bad or anything, but
you know how teenagers get. Could you imagine a teenager with those kind of powers?
Oh,
you're lying to me, Dad. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Ugh.
Yeah, it would be awful. Because I think at one point, you know, the assassin thing with Yor would be revealed. The spy thing with Twilight will be revealed. And
I mean, their relationship would have to end. Because once the mission's over, like, does Lloyd stay? I wouldn't think. And that would put Anya at a very... I mean, she's already had somebody leave already. Could you imagine if it happened again? Oh my God, the poor thing would need therapy.
Yeah. This is jumping far ahead because we're not even in the manga, we're not even close to anything like this shaping up to happen. But I definitely think at some point the family will be together at the end with no lies between them. But for that to happen, I do think a breakup period will need to happen where Yor's not around, Lloyd's not around, maybe Anya goes somewhere else. And I don't know, who knows? I don't know how that would shape up to be, but Frankie's definitely going to be in the equation somehow because he's kind of like the uncle to Anya. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like, for example, if Lloyd left because the mission was over, he like tried to talk some sense into Lloyd. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened because he cares for Anya as well.
True. And I feel like he's come through and he's done stuff like that before when Lloyd felt like he was at a standstill with Anya.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the guy to basically say, think, man.
Yeah, definitely a good mediator, but just terrible women. That's it.
Yeah, he just doesn't know how to talk to ladies.
Yeah,
and I feel like there was an episode where he was trying to tell Lloyd how to basically romance Yor or whatever, and I think even Lloyd was like, why should I be taking advice from you? It's like, trust me, I know these things. Just do it.
Sasuke believes in the Yor ex Frankie theory. Trust me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a bombshell.
The
people haven't gotten over it.
The Crepe Store said it was funny because he actually made things better for people, but he still looked bad. This season had me thinking it was going to be 2 split cores like season 1, but it's catching up. This show would benefit greatly from even a tad bit more story progression. It feels slow even for slice of life, and main plot progression. Definitely a valid criticism.
I think so.
It moves along very slow. That's kind of like why even now this is the show that we've said the least about probably out of everything.
Yeah, but I feel like what keeps me from finding this show too boring is the fact that the characters are great. They're really well fleshed out, wonderfully written. There are definitely them slow filler moments that I wish they would just cut out and just get to the point. Sometimes they add some funniness to it, but overall, I could do without a story about fucking Yuri or a story without Damien. You know, I don't. Hey. I understand their characters and they're in there, but I don't. Do I need a whole episode dedicated to them? No.
Okay, that one episode they had with Damien was pretty boring, but like Damien in general, I think I don't have an issue with him at all.
No, I don't either. I understand he's just a little kid. I don't know, a specific episode focused just on Damien, especially a focus dedicated to Yuri, no.
Ugh, yeah, we're good.
Oh, I swear, I don't know if it was this same episode or maybe I'm thinking of prior ones. Dude has a locker full of Yor, all posted up in his locker. Then he eats food from Yor and fucking coughs up blood. It's just, stop it! I don't like you.
Yeah. The Yuri problem is something that exists still in the manga, so it ain't getting better.
That's the one thing that I would say it sucks. It's just, I really like this show and I really like this series. I really like these characters. I hate Yuri. That's my only gripe. Even characters that I feel are just okay, I like them way better.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah. But I will say the last thing about this, even though I do agree with Sababu that the story progression is very slow for the series, even for a slice of life, there is some merit in a very character driven show having slow progression like this, because whenever it does focus on focused narrative plots, it's really good because you really care about everybody involved in it. Like, I'll give an example, like for example, like Hina Matsuri, for example. That is a show with a lot of episodic episodes, with some narrative stuff focused in here and there. I cared so much about those episodes because I cared about the cast through those episodic episodes where we kind of just fool around. Like, the story doesn't really matter, but you care because the characters that you like are involved in it. So, it's kind of stockpiling credit, with the characters, cachet with the characters. So it's something I always hang on with. But I get it. It's definitely something that you want to see more of in terms of the progression. Because up until the season, we didn't get any focus on yours. So
for sure.
Yeah, that was good to see. But and then too, people definitely aren't fond of like the romantic thing between Lloyd and Yor not actually progressing at all. Since it is like part of it is like romance that's supposed to be a focus, but again, this show definitely demands a lot of patience, and I think it's warranted to have patience because it really is funny when it hits on the strides.
Yeah, and I feel like the payoffs are really good. Like, one of my favorite episodes this whole season was Yor bodying everybody on that ship. Like, everything was perfect that episode. The music, the animation, just everything that went with it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good payoff. And I agree, we didn't know much about Yor, especially in the first season. Like, we knew she was an assassin. We just didn't really know the intricacies of the fact that she's an assassin that takes calls and they're part of this organization and all that other jazz. I think this season definitely highlighted that, and it was very well done.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all we have to say about Spy Family, and thus all the shows that we are talking about tonight. So the only thing left to get into is viewer questions.
Viewer. Questions. And I think we should speed run these because it looks like there's a lot of them. Of course, C's not here the one time we get a whole bunch.
Well, I don't think it's that many. It's just that how it was written in here. Like, that's why I'm kind of trying to fix it up now.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's kind of written as like one big thing. So you can go ahead and read some of these off, right, and then I'll kind of just try to fix this.
I shall enjoy reading these questions. Question number 1. You're in a buddy cop comedy film. Which of these people are you choosing to be your partner? 1, Uncle Ruckus.
Already off to a good start. Number 2, Frieza. Oh, geez. Number 3, Low Tier God.
In a buddy cop duo, I guess.
I know who I'm not doing. I wouldn't want to be with Uncle Ruckus because he's just a straight up bad person, racist, bigot, and everything else.
They all
Like,
are,
if we
though.
were-
That's the funny part.
That is true. Wait, who's Low Tier God?
He's a streamer.
I want to say I don't know. I honestly thought they were saying an anime character who is a Low Tier God.
He's a streamer that has said like many offensive things to people. Like,
Oh God. Need you say more? He's probably, as SC would say, a red pill weirdo or something. Alpha male, Giga Chad or whatever they're called.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I know it doesn't really make that much sense, but Uncle Ruckus, because it will be actually funny.
It would be funny.
Here's the thing about Uncle Ruckus. Even though he's like that racist, he still can somewhat associate with black people. Like, he's still able to hang out with Grandpa. Frieza would just kill me. And Low Tier God is, again, Uncle Ruckus, super racist. Definitely said crazy offensive things. I think Low Tier God maybe even worse. Like, I don't know. For whatever reason, with Low Tier God, with Uncle Ruckus, I can maybe laugh it off because it's so outlandish. But with Low Tier God, I probably wouldn't laugh it off. We'll probably have to fight.
Yeah. I guess I would have to pick Uncle Ruckus too, because he would probably worship the ground I walk on.
The white man is always right.
Yeah.
Yes,
I could literally call him an idiot. And it's like, dude, stop being racist. And he'd be like, oh yeah, you're right. But I swear, that guy over there. Yeah, especially if it was a buddy cop thing, he would see every black guy and go, he's guilty.
Hang him right now. Oh my God. Frieza's gonna laser beam him.
Right. He just shoots anybody that we're just driving down on a beat. Just Frieza, you can't kill everybody you see.
Why not?
Because that's not how it works. They have to do something bad first.
Oh, you monkeys and your laws.
So they did something already. They exist. Oh God. All right. Next question. Which of these would you find in C Tactics search history? There's a lot of them. Vladilena, Handler 1, Bloody Regina, Vladilena R34. The fuck? Bloody Regina Dojin.
R34 is real 34. It's like a hentai site.
Oh.
So which one would we find to see search history? That
Which one?
Vladilena R34.
R34? Yeah, I'd probably say that. He loves his Vladilena. I mean, we know this.
Yeah.
Makes him long and hard.
Always.
Always. Next question. How to make it look like you don't love someone even though you tweet about her all the time? What?
I don't know.
That a question?
I don't know what
That's more
this
like
is.
a statement. Handler 1, please handle me. Oh wait, is this still a continuation?
I don't know.
Bloody
I don't think
Regina-
so. Oh wait, maybe it is. Maybe it is. It is. I think it is a continuation.
Oh my God. Okay, so we weren't done. Bloody Regina Dojin was the last, but it still goes on. How to make it look like you don't love someone even though you tweet about her all the time. Handler 1, please handle me. Bloody Regina, please bloody me. Lena, pure virgin, so long and so deep. Or all of the above. And then in parentheses, it says, by the way, C, this is not going to stop, not until you admit the truth.
Too bad he's not here to see this.
I want to say, he picked a time to be sick.
This is another reason why he's sick.
I know. He knew that this question was coming. He's like, I'm sick, guys.
I'm still going with Vladilena R34. He's a sick guy.
Same. He's twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the worst.
Some of the things I could expose. I won't do it because he's a good person.
Surviving sea tactics.
Surviving sea. I didn't know what would happen. But see, he dressed me up as Vladilena. I wore a cosplay for years. Oh my god. Okay. Well, now that we got that out of the way, next question. Which villain group is better? Phantom Trope or Akatsuki? Akatsuki. You know this one. Go for it.
It's Hunter x Hunter and Naruto. Here's the thing about these two villain groups. I wish I could just answer this straight up, but I had to explain myself and my pick. I think the Phantom Troop is a better group, like a better collective. I like the identity of the Phantom Troop. I like how they're a found family. They feel like a found family. I feel like they're a better group, but I think the Akatsuki has better villains individually. Because when I look at all the Phantom Troop and I compare them to the Akatsuki got some crazy good villains. Like one of the weaker ones is Sasori, and I think he's good. You have Itachi, you have Kisame, you have Hidan, you have Kakazu, you have Pain. Great villains in that group, but I think as a collective, they aren't as good as the Phantom Troop. So it kind of depends on how you're asking me the question. But if you want me to answer, I'll say the Phantom Troop.
All right. Next question. Who wins this fatal four-way? Ichigo from Bleach, Goku from Dragon Ball Super, Shinra from Fire Force, or Saitama Terra 2 One Punch Man. What the hell is Saitama Terra 2?
I don't even know what that is, and I read the manga.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I feel like Saitama is always powerful. Shinra, I don't remember. Goku is Goku, and Ichigo is Ichigo.
I think they said Shinra was crazy in Fire Force, like in the manga. But I don't know how crazy he is. I'm going to go with the safe answer and say Goku.
Yeah, Goku, and it says Dragon Ball Super, so I mean, Ultra Instinct, so I mean, he probably beats everyone's ass. Yeah. Next question. Which mutation wins? Goku Great Ape or Hulk Spider-Man? Huh.
Hulk, probably.
Hulk is pretty strong because Hulk's power is essentially the madder he gets, the more powerful he gets. And if you essentially piss him off every time you hit the Hulk, so yeah, I'd probably say Hulk. If also Goku Great Ape, you could cut off his tail and that's it.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. I was going to say, like, we've literally seen weak characters be able to handle him. I think any version of Hulk would probably be able to handle him, even though like Hulk has had his abomination with like problems with the abomination and whatnot. But like you said, his power stems from his anger. So yeah.
Right. Just piss him off and he'll get stronger. All right. This is definitely a you question, Satsuki.
Oh, really?
Who takes this? Johan from Monster or Feodor from Bungo Stray Dogs?
They didn't say in terms of what.
Yeah, it just says who takes it. It's like who takes what? A cookie? You know, who takes.
They're both extremely smart characters. I'm leaning more towards Feodor. Feodor is insane. Yeah, I'll go with Feodor.
All right. Cool.
Who wins? My Hero Academia all classes or DC all Titans? Well, there's only a few Titans versus all the classes from My Hero. I mean, My Hero would all the classes might take it. Oh, wait, hold on. All Titans, like Teen Titans? I don't understand the question.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because Teen Titans, there's only 5. There's 5. Excuse me. And then My Hero, there's literally A class, B class. So they could probably like overpower them just from the amount, but I mean, Starfire's pretty strong and Raven's pretty strong.
They are, but I don't know. Starfire could cause some damage to those kids.
Yeah, Cyborg would be a pretty good one too. Beast Boy, Robin is essentially kind of like Batman. No superpowers, but just is human.
The problem is like Deku would probably give some of them a lot of issues by himself, and then Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot remember Shadow Boy's name.
Oh, the bird?
Mm-hmm. He would give him issues as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like they would just do it just because there's more of them, to be honest.
I might have to go with the My Hero Academia class just because they well, it depends. Like, I haven't watched probably the version they're talking about of the Titans. Like I'm thinking more so Teen Titans, because they struggle with Slade, Deathstroke.
Yeah, and he's one person.
Yeah, he's just a good fighter. He doesn't even have anything special to him. He's just a good fighter. If they can struggle with him, they're definitely struggling with a lot of these kids with crazy superpowers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go to My Hero in that case.
If they're talking about comics, I'm out of it. I have no clue.
I want to say I used to know, but I'm so out of the game. So far out of it. Who would be your best drinking bunny? Tyrion Lannister, Homer Simpson, Thor, or Soldier Boy from The Boys?
I'm not drinking with Soldier Boy. I'm not drinking with a PTSD soldier. What?
No, absolutely not. Depends on which Tyrion Lannister. Because there are versions of Tyrion when he drank, he was a depressed person, always drank and threw up over himself. But then there was the guy that was always at brothels doing it, you know, and all that other stuff. Homer Simpson is... You don't know who's going to show up. But when he's drunk, he makes no sense. He's just like, all right, guys, let's do this. Like he's just a stupid drunk. Literally, really bad. Thor, I don't think he gets drunk. I feel like he just loves drinking. You know, he's got that, you know, Viking Valhalla type spirit within him. And he's just like, another.
And it's for that reason I would go with Thor, because he probably has the least issues out of these drinking buddies, so to speak.
Yeah. I feel like when he drinks, it's to have a good time, and you know, like he's got your back. Like if you guys were to ever get in a fight, like if somebody wanted to, like for some reason, a drunken stupor was just like, "Oh, kick your ass," Thor would be like, "No, let's not get to this," and then all of a sudden he just punches him 300 feet in the air. Just something like that. So yeah, Thor would be a good one. All right. Next question. Who is best? Oh God, I'm gonna try with these names. EI from 100 Girlfriends.
Is that a real name?
I don't know. EI, or whoever that is.
Oh, it is.
I from Oshinoko. Miku from Quintessential Quintuplets, or 02 from Darling of the... whatever, I'm not even going to finish that. Who is the best? Miku's pretty great. She's a good character. I know people don't like her. Well, no, that's
No,
not true.
no,
I
no.
feel
People
like
love
people
Miku.
like her.
People love Miku.
Oh, it's you. You're the one that's
What?
different about Miku.
Me?
Or maybe I'm misremembering. Don't you? Aren't you the one that says Miku is overrated?
I may have said that. I may have said that. I mean, I think Miku is probably the most like Quint globally. I don't know. I really like I may not like Oshu no Ko as much as other people, but I really like
Pretty good.
Damn.
Pretty good. And I don't know who EI is.
Apparently she's the 4th girlfriend in 100 Girlfriends.
Oh, well, that narrows it down. Wait, what color hair does she have?
It's like gray or something.
Okay. I have no idea. I know there's one with like red hair that everybody loses their mind over, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with
I'll go with Miku. Next question. Who wins in this 1v1 fight? 15 Finger Sukuna or Tatsumaki? Ooh.
So the Sukuna that we saw fight Mahoraga, basically.
Essentially, I guess, because that's 15. Yeah, because he had 5 already, and then they put 10 down his gullet. So yeah, 15. And then Tatsumaki. That would be a pretty cool fight. Not gonna lie. But I don't know. I mean, because Tatsumaki has the Esper power. She could totally do some damage with the mind stuff. But Sukuna, he's... Oh my god. Let's go with Sukuna.
I feel like Tatsumaki... He would be limited because I don't think he could use his domain expansion as well with Tatsumaki. She can create a protective shield. She can fight him from afar with her Esper powers. She can just, she can actually just move Sukuna if she wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Tatsumaki. That's a little different. Cross series power scaling is weird, but yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I think it would be a close fight, but yeah. Next question. Which character would you like to live as for a day? Oh, okay.
Who would I want?
Levi.
Okay.
Yeah, for a day. Levi from Attack on Titan.
Definitely not him.
Makima from Chainsaw Man.
Mm.
Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen. Or Mitsuyuri from Demon Slayer. I'm going Mitsuyuri. I am the love Hashira because for a day I'll just love everything because I'm love.
I don't want to live in that world.
But I
Demon
would
Slayer
live, and
world?
I'm super strong, and people love me. People buy me socks.
Oh my god. It's an ultimate Christmas gift though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to deal with whatever stress Makima has to deal with her job. And then Levi, definitely not. Oh man, these are bad. I'll go with Gojo just because nobody can touch me.
Yeah, just don't get tricked to get into a box.
I'm definitely putting Utahime through a mattress. We did talk about her, but she didn't do anything in that episode as well.
No.
The one with the scar.
Mm-hmm. Next question. Who wins in this 1v1 fight? Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Monster Garu from One Punch Man.
They low-key spoiled. But
Sorry.
you read it.
Sorry.
No, I mean, like, you already read One Punch Man, so
Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good one too. I feel like Gojo would win it though. He's pretty fucking strong. But Monster Garu, he's almost kind of like the Hulk. He freaking gets stronger and stronger every time he gets
Every time he gets his ass whooped.
I got Garo in this situation.
Really?
Gojo, I don't think Gojo has enough firepower to deal with him. Like, Gojo's strongest move, Hollow Purple, kind of, it wrecks buildings apart, but Garo can do that easy. Regular Garo can do that. I don't think he has enough destructive capabilities. Like, the thing that's going to really, the thing that would be interesting is how he can deal with Infinity. Or how he can deal with Unlimited Void and how he can deal with Infinity. But other than that, he definitely doesn't have the destructive capabilities to keep up with Monster Garo, because they were like literally busting through Jupiter and stuff like that. That's insane.
That was one of the sickest things I ever saw.
Yeah.
Like, that whole ending of that arc was just like, holy crap. Okay. Last question of the night. Who would be your go-to mechanic? It's from the A-Team. The mechanic from the A-Team. Kaylee Fry from Firefly, Tony Stark from Iron Man, or Han Solo from Star Wars. Not Han Solo from Star Wars, because he sucks at fixing the Millennium Falcon. Him and Chewie couldn't fix that thing if they were paid 100 million credits or whatever money is in Star Wars to do it, because they suck at it. So that's one no. A-Team, I don't think I've ever watched the A-Team. I know of the A-Team, but I don't know anything about it. Firefly, for anybody that's watched the series, it lasted one season. I don't really remember this character. Probably Tony Stark, because he's just a genius with just anything. As the villain from Iron Man 1 said, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was going to use too. Like, he literally built like a prototype suit in a cave. So I that's the guy I'll take.
Right. I mean, that's incredible. But Han Solo. The fact that they picked that they did that as a joke. There's no way. Well, that's the last question of the night. So now, I guess we're gonna go into outros. EA, where can they find you? Oh, thank you. I'll tell you where you can find me. You can find me over at Everything Animated. My channel's pretty barren, but I don't know. Still subscribe anyway, because you love me. I love me. We all love me. If you're new to King of Anime Podcast, please subscribe to our channel. We also have a Twitter. Subscribe and follow us there. We also have a Patreon, where we have exclusive content exclusive to Patreon. Only $1. So if you want to join, I know we've been, kind of slacking on it. It's the holiday season. Don't hate us too much, but we should have something next month. Fingers crossed, hopefully. And that's where you can find me, all those places. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next week when we resurrect Sea Tactics again.
As for me, Satsuki the Savage here, YouTube channel, Satsuki the Savage. Other YouTube channel, Satsuki the Gamer, where I upload my VODs from Twitch onto YouTube, edit it more concise. And speaking of my Twitch is Satsuki the Savage. That's with a DA, not a THE, where I am currently playing Fire Emblem and finally Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Played the first chapter. Going to be a fun time getting through that game, and probably more games to come. Still playing LA Noire, and I'm sure I'll get into some other games in the future. But subscribe to our channels. Be on the lookout for more updates on Twitter, and we definitely got to get something going with Patreon as well. So any of our patrons, worry not, we will be in the lab cooking up something very soon. So
yes.
And also, Patreon too, $1. Not much. There's like there's nothing worth $1 anymore, but Patreon. So
yeah, McDonald's doesn't even have a $1 menu anymore.
yep.
Take that into consideration.
Apple pies cost like $2 now. Be on the lookout. We won't raise the price though. Be sure of that.
Nope. Yeah, absolutely. Unless you want those spicy content that we might have to raise.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody have a good night, day, afternoon, wherever you may be. And peace.